Giroux there. I like it.
Bob Davie in his 7th season at New Mexico, a tumultuous offseason, but he made it through that. And we talked to him earlier in the week. He's in really good spirits despite coming off that blowout loss at Fresno last week, 38-7. He really thought his team played a pretty good football game, especially on the offensive side of the ball. And on the other end, it's Matt Wells, his best season as head coach at Utah State, 6th season as the head coach, 13th season here overall. He replaced Gary Anderson, and they had 3 straight 10-plus win seasons when he has been on this coaching staff. But he told us earlier in the week, this is excited as he's ever seen the fan base.
Absolutely, and if you walk around campus just a little bit, you can sense it, you can feel it in the air. These fans are excited, this team is excited. The coaching staff is, they know that they have a chance of being a part of something very, very special. And I don't feel like they're playing with anxiety or nerves. I feel like they're embracing the moment, and they're going out and just having fun and playing ball.
New Mexico won the toss. They deferred to the second half. Utah State will get the football, and we might get a chance to see the nation's leading kick returner, Savon Scarver, averaging 38 yards per kick return, had a 99-yarder last week and a 100-yarder earlier this season against New Mexico State. Trying to switch. Season it's been, averaging 48 points a game, 4th in the nation, averaging nearly 200 yards rushing, about 250 yards passing. And there's a big chunk. Nope, he dropped it. Would have been a first down in a gain of about 15, but Jordan Nathan was unable to hang on.
It's a nice pass break up there, and you see how fast Utah State's offense likes to go. They are trying to snap the ball, and the refs obviously have to give the defense time, but 3rd down, here we go.
3rd down and 8, opening drive of the ball game. Utah State about a 3-touchdown favorite coming into this one. Last time these two teams played here, New Mexico came back and stunned Utah State in the 2016 season. Love over the middle, incomplete. Good defense, and there's Jalen Burrell, who we highlighted off the top, one of those great cornerbacks along with D'Angelo Ross.
Absolutely, just a gigantic play here to force a 3-and-out here from the Utah State offense. And this Utah State offense absolutely despises going 3-and-out. Burrell just playing through the receiver, breaking the ball, using his hand to knock the ball away and strip the receiver's arms.
The punter is Taylor Heinz. And it's a fair catch by Marcus Hayes, top 10 in the country in punt returns. New Mexico will take it, starting at the 36-yard line. They get a 3-and-out on Utah State to start this game. Can't ask for much more if you're Bob Davie. And there is Sharon Jones. He is a dual threat, but unlike quarterbacks of the past, they do let him toss it up in the air a little bit.
They do. I mean, he has the arm talent to do that. The question is, how much freedom do they give him? This Utah State defense does a good job of turning the ball over, and you cannot have any unforced errors if you're New Mexico today.
Quickly to throw on 1st down, and that is Jay Griffin IV. He's a speedster. They do have some athletes on the outside, and that's one of the reasons why Bob Davie went with a new offensive coordinator this season in Calvin McGee, because running the triple option, he was telling us that teams were making them hand it off right away, and they weren't getting it out to their playmakers enough. And There's a handoff and a big hole for Tyrone Owens. He's about a yard short of the first down. Good blocking on that right side of the line.
Forcing an early 3rd and 1 for New Mexico. Actually, Owens had that first down. Looked like he slipped, may have clipped his own heel or something. Let's see if they keep it on the ground here for 3rd and short.
Tyrone Owens again is the running back. It's going to be an option pass, and there's the bubble, and there goes Griffin. Pushed out at the 35-yard line. That's one of the things Bob Davie told us this week was Sharon Jones is a good passer, but a lot of times he doesn't see the open man on the bubble on this option play. He did here.
This is the true triple right here. You can either give it to the running back, you can keep it as the QB, or throw the bubble. Right here, he's showing great progression there, going through it and getting to his 3rd option.
Owens the handoff, and he gets stuffed. Chase Christiansen from his inside linebacker position, the senior from right here in Utah with his 55th tackle of the season.
Christiansen and David Woodward, these inside backers, had a ton of tackles last week against Wyoming. This D-line keeps them clean, and they make the plays over the top.
Play action, Jones to throw. Over the middle, has a man, but he dropped it. Utah State has a drop, and New Mexico does too. Should have been a catch. Patrick Reed switched from quarterback to wide receiver. Maybe that's why he started off at quarterback. Hands might not quite be there. He was wide open, though. Third down and 10 for New Mexico. Here comes some pressure. He'll throw it up top, and way too much for Delane Hart-Johnson, who is 6'4", but not 7'4". Now decision time for Bob Davie. Do you try to kick a field goal here? They have the fewest field goal attempts in the nation, just 3 coming in. They made all 3. Andrew Shelley is the field goal kicker. This one from 53 yards. He did make one from 44. Jordan Nathan is deep to try to return this if it doesn't reach the crossbar. Looks like it will, and it's good. Andrew Shelley is perfect. He doesn't get many opportunities, but he's made every one of them. 53-yarder, and it's 3-0 Lobos.
Wow, that's all I got to say, Chris. I mean, who would have thought that this is how the game would start? New Mexico's defense forces a huge 3-and-out from the Utah State offense, and now New Mexico, they moved the ball a little bit, but 53-yarder to get on the board early.
And what win there is helping on that side of the field. Down to Kristen Balboni, who's helping us out all afternoon long. Kristen?
Well, that's right, guys. Well, I asked everyone at the start of the game, as we always do on Facebook, where are you watching? Who are you rooting for? As you can see, I'm monitoring the comments right now, so I got plenty from everybody. Auntie Bach is watching from Fresno. Mary says, go Lobos. Travis is rooting for the Aggies. Corbin is watching from Denver. Gianna watching from Carlsbad. Andre, he's watching from Germany. And Angela from Genoa, Italy. I'm saying that right. Diane from Minnesota. Everyone is chiming in about where they are watching from. Absolutely love it. Keep those Facebook comments coming the entire time. And also keep the Instagram pictures coming. So we got a couple of different hashtags going. We got hashtag UNMVSUSU. You can also use the hashtag that you see from this fine gentleman right here, hashtag Aggies all the way, if you are rooting for Utah State like Deco is. Guys, I really like that outfit. I like that big blue headpiece right there, personally.
Kristen, is that part of a Halloween costume, or you think that's his attire for normal games?
Great question, Deco. Let us know. Bearded Chandler is Aggie Animals. Oh, yes, I saw these guys over there. I'm pretty sure one of them is in a cow costume. So we are going to be definitely looking more at those as it goes. Oh, and now isn't that cute? She is rooting for the Aggies, hashtag Aggies all the way from K Crump 1721. As you can see, she's wearing pink, as a lot of people here are, in honor of breast cancer awareness, which they're really emphasizing at this game. Some of the players have some gear on too that is pink. E.B. Duffel says hashtag Aggies all the way. Junior Aggie Stampede. I like that. I want to see the New Mexico fans chiming in as well. So remember, keep those pictures coming on Instagram if you're a New Mexico fan. Embed says Aggies all the way or something like that. We are loving the Instagram pics. Keep those coming. Loving the fan costumes. Guys, we'll send it back to you for some game action.
Well, thank you, Kristen. That field goal, by the way, the second longest in New Mexico history. 53 yards from Andrew Shelley. The kickoff specialist is Danny Sutton. So they have a punter, a kicker, and a kickoff specialist. 3 different players. And this will be returned by Savon Scarver. Slowed up at the 10 and twirled down at the 13-yard line. Good kickoff coverage by New Mexico, and Utah State, after that 3 and out, gets its second crack here, not even 2.5 minutes into the game.
Let's see how this Utah State offense comes out and attacks the New Mexico D after a slow start on the first drive. I look for them to take some shots over the top down the field. They have a very high percentage completion ratio when they do throw the ball down the field. Jordan Love is pinpoint accuracy over the top, it seems like.
I mentioned the last time they played here, New Mexico won. They did play last year, and Utah State won in Albuquerque, 24-10. That one good for 6, maybe 7 yards on first down. Ronquavian Tarver leads this team in receptions with his 31st of the season. And quickly, they throw a screen pass, and it's a first down. Tarver stays on his feet and stays inbounds across the 30-yard line.
This is exactly the philosophy Utah State takes. Get the ball out quick and get it to your playmakers and let them get the yardage.
There goes Darwin Thompson, the JUCO transfer, leads the team in rushing yards, and he's 5th in the nation in yards per carry. He averages over 7 yards a carry. You see it right there. Pickup of 8 or 9 on first down. A whistle and a flag. This is going to be a false start on Utah State, one would think. Referee today is Kevin Hassel. No relation to me. He's got 2 L's in his last name.
Is that why? I don't remember you introing a referee before, Chris. I don't know. There could be some relation there. You don't know.
Move it back 5 yards, and it's 2nd down and 7. A moment to catch our breath here. This Utah State offense, when they're clicking, they go fast. And they have been clicking most of the season. Play fake. And there's the USC transfer, Jalen Green. Churning inside the 30. And a penalty marker out late. 35 yards, and they may tack on 15 more. Or it might come back.
After the play was over, personal foul, late hit, offense number 51. The line to gain was made, so it'll be 1st and 10 after 15-yard penalty.
That's Quinn Ficklin, the senior from Mesa, Arizona, transfer from BYU, coming in late.
Yeah, let's watch him at the end of this play. Play was already blown dead when Quinn Ficklin, you see him 51 there, just kind of tried to top off the pile, as they call it. Kind of spearing. It looked like he didn't really hit anyone in particular, just trying to push the pile, and they thought it was a little bit too late and a bit excessive.
Since it was a first down, it's still first down, and still 1st and 10, not 1st and 25. Well, throws it back and throws it. Got a good block from Aaron Vaughns, and Tarver stays on his feet again. Inside the 30 for 18 more.
You gotta love how these receivers block for each other. Look at number 11, Aaron Vaughns, right there, still holding his block. And Tarver just finds a way.
Thompson again. Nice run on first down.
Chris, I gotta tell you, this tempo from Utah State, it's crazy.
That's a keeper! And Love is inside the 5. I don't think anybody knew who had that ball. And until he made a man miss. 18 yards.
How did he stay on his feet as long as he did here?
This time he hands it, and Five's got 6. Darwin Thompson with his 10th touchdown of the season.
New Mexico's defense is already on their heels coming off the big run by quarterback Jordan Love. Darwin Thompson almost walks into the end zone here. No matter how many times you play against this Utah State offense, you still have to find a way to get your legs under you and really catch up with this super ultra tempo that they keep up all game.
Dominic Eberle makes the extra points. And they're second in the nation in scoring drives of under 2 minutes with 14. This one, just a skosh over 2. 2:16, 8 plays, 87 yards.
You see Love here, he was actually reading the end man on the line of scrimmage who hung back and decided his responsibility on that play was to cover Jordan Love, the quarterback, and not crash down on the dive. Well, guess what? That's an easy read for a guy like Jordan Love, and Darwin Thompson pretty much walks into the end zone there for their first score. Down.
3rd down and 4. Play fake. Jones scrambles out of it, has a man wide open. It's caught. 30-yard line, Hart Johnson. Squeaked away from the safety, and Jones was able to see him at the last second.
This Utah State defense has talked all week about corralling Sharon Jones, keeping him in the pocket. Right there, you see the edge of the pocket gets collapsed. He breaks contain because he has great vision and athleticism, and he keeps his eyes down the field and completes a huge 3rd down conversion.
Davis again gets the carry. Twists inside the 20-yard line within a yard of a first down.
Yeah, that previous play where Jones was able to buy time, scramble outside the pocket and still get the ball down the field was exactly what this Utah State team and their defense had worked on all week, and they were trying to find a way to almost, it's called a mush rush, where you don't get too high and you don't let them step up and escape the pocket. Right there, their 4-man rush got collapsed, and Jones makes them pay.
You saw Amari Davis limp off, looked like a right ankle or foot injury. And let's go back to that long 30-plus yard pass conversion. And this is what they love about this quarterback, the transfer from Tennessee.
He has that pocket presence. If you saw there where the defensive end collapses down trying to chase him, thinks that Jones is going to escape the other side. Well, Jones kind of has that, almost like he has eyes in the back of his head, and spins back out and pushes the ball down the field.
Owens gets the call and almost broke it. Ball is out late, but a whistle before it came out. They say that Tyrone Owens was down. It is a first down for New Mexico. It looks like the right call.
They hope he's down. That's exactly what this New Mexico team cannot afford. Facing a high-powered offense like Utah State, you cannot give them any extra possessions.
Zanir Schuler gets the carry, breaks it loose to the sideline, and shoved out at the 10-yard line after a pickup of 3 or 4. And he might be a little bit shaken up. No, it might have just been a shoe that came off. Coming up on 7 minutes to play here in the first quarter. New Mexico doesn't work as fast as Utah State, but pretty fast in their own right. Jones in the 2 running back set. End zone, intercepted! Shaq Bond may go all the way. Cuts it back. Zigzags inside the 20, and Shaq takes it back. 100 yards.
That's an absolute thing of beauty, Chris. I had to sit there and enjoy the atmosphere and what that did to this stadium right there. And the whole team blocking for Shaq Bond all the way down the field. Man, gigantic play.
And that is the 8th non-offensive touchdown of the season for Utah State. The 4th defensive touchdown, tied for the 2nd longest INT return in program history.
If you watch Sharon Jones, one thing they said is a lot of times he has a predetermined idea of where he's going with the ball, and right there you can tell he knew where he was going to throw that, but Shaq Bond knew as well. Undercuts the route, steps in front. I wouldn't be shocked if Shaq Bond played running back, receiver, a lot of things when he was in high school, because he has great awareness of where the defenders were. Look at this team blocking too. This really brings your team together. Everybody down there trying to rally and get Shaq Bond into the end zone here. Just zigzagging, weaving all over the place. Teammates already celebrating for him.
Well, Keith Patterson, the defensive coordinator in his first season, told us earlier in the season that they want to get 3+ takeaways a game, and as soon as they get an interception or a fumble recovery, they want everybody blocking the skill players, and they want to get the ball as quickly to the sideline as possible. He was already at the sideline and stayed on that side of the field.
Shaq Bond's here in the slot over top of Elijah Lilly right here at the top of your screen, and you watch him, just has great patience. He gets his eyes back on the quarterback when he's still in his back pedal, and that allowed him to undercut that route. Sharon Jones probably threw that ball a step too late as well. That's definitely something that this Utah State defense knew was coming at some point in the red zone, out of that formation. It's a play that New Mexico has ran in the past, and they like that. And Shaq Bond, his film study really paid off there.
Hey guys, and just a reminder, we are looking for your pictures. Jenny the MK girls using that hashtag UNMVSUSU, catching some Aggie football at home with my 9-day-old baby. That's adorable. Jenny, hope you didn't scream too loud after that last play and wake the little guy or girl up. SLP, that's a cute one, ready for Halloween and to cheer on the Aggies. That's incredible. Keep those pictures coming using that hashtag UNMVSUSU.
Thank you, Kristen. If you're new to this Facebook game, there's no commercials here. That's why we love this kind of broadcast. We can stay with you throughout this entire afternoon, tell you some stories that you just can't quite get to if you're watching a game on TV. That one through the back of the end zone and out to the 25. The New Mexico offense has to come right back out. And Sharon Jones with his 8th interception of the season, and this one really, really hurt. How do you get back on the horse here, AJ?
You got to find a way to complete some balls early. It's almost like you're restarting the game. You hear people talk about, especially with inexperienced QBs, get them going early, try to get a few easy completions, or I think you need to do that right here on this drive. Don't let him feel gun shy at all moving forward. They're going to need a huge day out of him. Yes, it was a big mistake he made in the red zone, but still 14-3.
Owens with a good run on first down. Owens now into the top 10 in New Mexico history in rushing yards, passes Lamar Jordan into the top 10, over 2,500 yards for his career. Owens got stuffed. Jontrell Rockamore just rocked him.
This is a thing of beauty of how to execute defense. If you see Rockamore, he came from the right side of your screen. He was lined up over the slot receiver. He timed his blitz up beautifully to where he hit his blitz. He hit the line of scrimmage as the ball was being snapped at the same time as the safety rolled down over top of that slot receiver, so they didn't show the blitz too early.
Big play for New Mexico to try to stay in this game on third down. Owens will keep it. Cut back, shifty moves, and he has the first down, move those chains.
This is what they're going to have to do, Chris. They want to stay in this game, is continue to convert these third down conversions, the third downs they get in. and just find a way to keep moving the ball. Don't give the ball back to this Utah State offense, because we've seen the tempo, we've seen how fast they can score.
5 minutes to play here in the first quarter. New Mexico scored first in a 53-yard field goal, but Utah State has scored the last 2 touchdowns, one on offense, one on defense. That one incomplete, intended for Aaron Molina. And the coverage from Gage Ferguson set up a second down and long.
New Mexico liked the look they got there. They had Molina one-on-one with Ferguson, so they threw it up to give him a shot. I think they'll come back to that a few times today if they get that one-on-one man coverage.
They'll put it up in the air again. It's a screen pass, and Jay Griffin, patient, stepping out after a pickup of 6 yards. Want to give a shout out to Matthew, who's watching us from Cambodia live on Facebook. Also Andre from Germany and Henrik from Hungary. Thanks for watching, fellas.
You're international, Chris. I love it. They come from all areas of the world to see you.
Got about every country so far except Antarctica. 3rd and 4. Another pass. Close to a first down, but just short. Marcus Williams, the tight end, with his 10th catch of the season, but they're a full yard short of the first down. What do you think, AJ?
They're thinking about it. I think they're going to punt this one away. I would as well. I don't want to give Utah State the ball back on such a short field. New Mexico has to make this Utah State team go the hard way. Make them complete the tough balls outside the numbers, ones that you let them have basically. You try to break up and tackle him before he reaches the first down marker as we have a flag come in.
And a silly mistake by New Mexico. A clear, fair catch from Jordan Nathan after a punt of 39 yards, and that's going to cost New Mexico 15 precious yards. I think that's Patrick Reed, the safety, who says, yep, I just didn't see it. Beg your pardon, that's Patrick Peak, not Patrick Reed.
Yeah, people.
Kick catch interference. Kicking team number 12. That 15-yard penalty will be added to the dead ball spot. First down.
I think sometimes people, they see the end of this play and they wonder, how in the world could you not see the fair catch? Well, guess what? Peak is running down the field fighting with a gunner the whole time who's trying to block him for 50 yards down the field. So you have your head down, you're just trying to get down there, and sometimes you do not see him make the fair catch signal.
Ooh, that was a dangerous pass. Incomplete, intended for Tarver. A couple of Lobos were right there in the passing lane. Well, that was about 5 seconds between plays. Love going up top for Tarver. Got it at the 30-yard line. Tarver's having himself a day. 4th catch already. This one for 41 yards.
Tarver's out here one-on-one with D'Angelo Ross, who we spoke of in the open. Not bad coverage. Tarver just finds a way to go up there and grab that. And Jordan Love gives him a chance. That's what they want to do. This Utah State offense, a lot of times when you have these spread teams, they're throwing a lot of balls horizontal and trying to play basketball on grass, as they call it. Not Utah State. They want to attack vertically first and then move the ball horizontal if they have to.
They're not even giving us enough time for replays between plays. We're showing a replay of the Tarver catch, and he's already made another catch.
It is crazy when you talk of, there's a lot of teams running tempo in college football right now, but these guys on another level.
Love pulls it back, throws another screen. And that's Taylor Compton. Just 2 catches on the season coming into this game.
I wonder how bored some of these guys are when they get in the NFL and they're running a pro-style offense where they huddle between each play.
Love has all kinds of time, and it's complete. Jordan Flack was right in the passing lane, might have gotten a fingertip on it, but Compton still able to catch it. Great concentration. Love to throw it again. Look into the end zone. It's caught! Jordan Nathan. Touchdown, Utah State.
Look at this play calling by David Yost, the offensive coordinator. Get Love on the outside, move the pocket. You see how confident and under control Jordan Love was there, moving outside the pocket, keeping his eyes downfield, and he leads Jordan Nathan perfectly to make the diving catch in the end zone for the touchdown.
That is the 15th touchdown drive of under 2 minutes. 6 plays, 69 yards, and a speedy 119. Capped off by the diving grab from Jordan Nathan. Second touchdown of the season from 17 yards out.
Just the composure all the way around there is very impressive. Jordan Love, little play fake, get him on the outside. He's outside the pocket. He has a couple different options. And the composure from Jordan Love of just how he looked like he was casually strolling in the park as he's outside the pocket, decides to pull the trigger. And Jordan Nathan making that look easy too. That is absolutely not an easy catch that he just made in the end zone.
About 10 minutes ago in this game, it was 3-0 New Mexico. 21 quick ones from Utah State. And now kicking into the wind, but still enough of a leg to get it into the end zone. It'll come out to the 25-yard line. Tune in next Saturday as Bucknell hosts Lehigh. You can catch that game on Stadium, 12:30 Eastern Time. Stadium, the only 24/7 network available on both television and digital devices without a cable subscription. Stadium, welcome to the game. Richard on Facebook says that he wants Utah State on Stadium and Facebook every week. It's always exciting. And we had them in week 2 and week 3, won those games. Had them a few times last year as well. Owens picks up 5 on first down.
New Mexico's, they've moved the ball offensively on Utah State. They haven't been stymied every single series. They can move the ball. The question is, when can they punch it into the end zone and try to chip away at this 21-3 lead that Utah State just popped up in the last minute, it feels like.
Good tackle there from Gage Ferguson, who had a game-high 8 tackles in his first career sack a year ago in the last matchup between these two teams. A big year for Ferguson, got married in the summer, his wife Abby. And that sets up a 3rd down and 3. 4 of 6 on 3rd down so far in this game. That one dropped, and it might have been the hand of Aaron Wade that got in there and distracted Elijah Lilly just a little bit.
Definitely looked like that hand could have distracted him. Utah State bringing pressure here on 3rd down once again. So Sharon Jones knew he had to get rid of that ball quickly. Utah State gets off the field once again here, and New Mexico is going to try to find a way defensively to slow him down like they did in the first drive of the game.
Jordan Nathan deep to receive, and another fair catch. Just inside their own 30-yard line, a punt of 43 yards from Tyson Dyer. 14 scoring drives of fewer than 60 seconds, second only to Alabama. The last one, 79 seconds.
New Mexico has almost double the time of possession of Utah State. And when we spoke to the Utah State coaches, they don't care about time of possession at all. They just want to score points. They run as many plays as possible to score as quickly as possible. They don't run it just to try to tire the defense out and run a bunch of plays.
Gerald Bright. First down run on first down. You're right. Talking to David Yost, the offensive coordinator, he says they joke that they want to be last in the country in time of possession. Right now they're 127th.
He's got a point.
Up top again. Aaron Vaughns makes the grab, and they're knocking on the door again.
Patrick Beakier has outside leverage, as you see. He tries to slide underneath and knock that ball away, and it's just over his outstretched hand.
Love all day. End zone. Back shoulder touchdown. Ron Quavy and Tarver. 28 yards and the 4th touchdown of the quarter.
It's like an avalanche here, Chris. You can't blink. They're running another play. They're getting in the end zone again. And I can imagine being part of this New Mexico defense right now. They must feel the same way. They just keep coming at you, keep coming. They do not stop. They do not let up for 1 second.
Tarver already over 100 yards receiving. 6 catches and a touchdown. That was a 27-second drive. 3 plays, 72 yards. And this team is fun as hell to watch.
They get what they want here on Quavy and Tarver on the outside. One-on-one once again with D'Angelo Ross. You see him up at the very top of your screen. 2-by-2 formation from Utah State. He gets an outside release from the beginning, and Jordan Love knows he's going with him all day long, and the 6'3" Tarver goes up and takes that ball away like he does many, many times throughout his career here. 27 seconds, 72 yards. It's David Yost, he's onto something, the offensive coordinator. I love where he said, I just suggest plays. The players make the plays. Whenever they try to call him an offensive guru or anything, he shuts them down right away and tells them, no, I don't believe in gurus. We just run the same plays, but we perfect those plays and rep them over and over and over again and try to execute at the highest level.
Well, his quarterback is already over 200 yards passing in the first quarter. His top wide receiver is already over 100 yards receiving in the first quarter. And they've already scored more points than they did all of last week when they beat Wyoming 24-16. But Matt Wells says that, yeah, it was a rivalry game and we won, which is great. We've got Bridger's rifle. We've got the winning streak going. We're still on pace to have a chance to win this conference. But the players were disappointed because the offense didn't look good. And he said they had their best 2 back-to-back practices in a month on Monday and Tuesday. It's showing today. Hart, Johnson dropped it. Great throw from Sharon Jones. And the usually sure-handed Hart Johnson, who catches over 70% of his targets, doesn't look it in.
Bob Davie just kind of grinning, thinking, wow, what has happened in this first quarter? After we came out and got a 3-and-out the first drive of the game defensively, and now all of a sudden you're looking up, there's 28 on the board.
A few yards on second down, and there is some negativity from New Mexico fans, as you would expect on the comment section, but I mean, this is more about Utah State being a top flight team this season. They're going to be ranked come tomorrow. They might be ranked on Tuesday in the first college football playoff rankings. They might win this conference, and if everything breaks right, they could end up playing in a New Year's Six game. And New Mexico, you know, on its 3rd string quarterback, tough injury issues. That back shoulder is almost completed to Aaron Molina, but good coverage by DJ Williams, able to knock it out.
New Mexico showed blitz right there as Jordan Love put his hands up and simulated a snap count. Let's see if they check out of that blitz, because It looks like Utah State changed their call. They brought a tight end over now, the 3-by-1 formation. Let's see if they go up top with the matchup.
Well, they got Jalen Green, makes a man miss. He's down the sideline to the 30-yard line. A grad transfer from USC came in leading this team in receiving yards, over 300 coming in, and they're ready to snap it again. Fake the screen, go up top for the touchdown. Carson Terrell. First touchdown of his career. Everybody in on the action.
This is the previous play. They motioned over, went 3-by-1, got the matchup they wanted on the backside. Number 21, Jalen Green. You get one-on-one a lot of times, backside of a 3-by-1 there to set up that score.
And another sub-60 scoring drive. 4 plays, 70 yards, 54 seconds. And Carson Terrell got a lot of praise from his head coach this week for the way he blocked the last 2 weeks with the absence of Dax Raymond. Showing him some love here.
That's a play right there that was set up earlier and is set up through previous games. They showed that Carson Terrell showed he was blocking, and they were running a terror screen, as you call it, with the outside receiver catching the ball going back towards his own line of scrimmage, and Terrell just turns it up and runs the little wheel route. And Bijan Parker is a couple steps behind him because he was anticipating that screen at the line of scrimmage. Just beautiful, beautiful play calling there from offensive coordinator David Yost in this Utah State offense. They can beat you so many different ways, as we talked about earlier. All 3 phases have been executing and playing at a very, very high level today and throughout this whole season. And that's why they are up 35-3. And we're not even a minute into the second quarter.
It could be a 5-hour game.
You think Utah State's offense slows down at all when they get up?
I've seen them score 70 plus, so I'm not sure they're going to be taking their foot off the gas, especially when you consider that the end of the season could come down to college football playoff rankings for hosting the Mountain West Championship game and potentially getting to a New Year's Six game. So you want the style points, and you might need them.
Absolutely. You tell me that doesn't matter when they are choosing which teams are going to play where?
Can't quite see the hair on Yost, but he has got a head full. It is bleach blonde.
Now, are you saying bleach blonde or natural blonde? What are you trying to say, Chris?
I think it's naturally bleach.
He's definitely one of those unique offensive guru guys, and he would hate to hear us call him a guru, but he truly is. He lives and breathes football, it seems like, and what he can do to tinker with certain plays to make them work for this team. And it is showing today. You noticed, too, only scoring 24 points last week in Laramie. They wanted to come out and put on a show today.
Yeah, they didn't have a good taste in their mouth. They got the rivalry trophy, they got the win, but just didn't feel too good about it being that close. It'll be 3rd down for New Mexico. Lobos started this season with a win over Incarnate Word and then took a 7-0 lead on number 5 Wisconsin on the road. Kind of like they did today with that 3-0 lead. They just haven't been able to sustain it. Bob Davie says that has a lot to do with being down to a 3rd stringer at the quarterback position, just not quite ready. But they do like the things he's been able to do. Not that time. A flag is down. Comes up 4 yards short of a 1st down. And looks like holding it will be declined. Here's Hassel.
Holding. Offense, number 76. That penalty is declined. Brings up 4th down.
Thank you, Kevin Hassel, referee for today's game. Mexico State going to have to punt it again. Tyson Dyer to punt it to Jordan Nathan, 16th in the country, averaging 11 yards per return. A lot of that came in the 59-yard touchdown return against Tennessee Tech. Good coverage by New Mexico. Down to Kristen Balboni.
Yeah, Chris, you've mentioned that Bridger's rifle trophy that they won against Wyoming last week a couple of times. And if you think about it, they have won 2 of their 3. Utah State has 2 of their 3 traveling rivalry trophies in the month of October already. That's the Old Wagon Wheel and Bridger's rifle. So we thought we'd do a little rundown of all of these. So there is the Old Wagon Wheel, and that is, of course, for beating BYU 45-20 on the road a little bit earlier this that was on October 5th. There's Bridger's rifle. That's for the Wyoming rivalry. That just started in 2013. It's a 50 caliber Rocky Mountain Hawken gun. And then the one that's still eluding them right now is the Beehive Boot, which signifies football supremacy in the state of Utah. The best football team in Utah. That got instituted in 1971. It's estimated to be more than 100 years old, an authentic Beehive Boot. So what I want to know from all the Aggie fans that are watching is which traveling trophy is your favorite? Because those are 3 pretty awesome ones. That's not just, you know, a typical trophy. I like all of those. They say that one of the things that made me laugh is that the Old Wagon Wheel got stolen a bunch. It doesn't happen as much as it used to, but the school that lost between BYU and Utah State used to go and steal it, and they had it lost for a long time. Sometimes it wasn't even with either of the 2 schools, so they've cleaned that up. But I would love to know from all the Aggies fans which one of those is your favorite. Of course, today, not an official rivalry game, but Utah State wanting to win this one just as much. Guys, I'm pretty partial to the Beehive Boot.
And
the
I'm
old
sure
antique.
That's probably the one they want the most,
Absolutely.
considering it's the best team in their own state. And boy, Jordan Love has had one heck of a first half. 13 of 17, 269 yards and 3 touchdowns. Hey fans, did you know you could stream college football all season long with Sling TV for just $25 a month? That's right. Try Sling TV for free right now at sling.com. Restrictions apply. Looking ahead to the remaining schedule for Utah State, they're at Hawaii in a week, midnight Eastern. Gonna have to stay up late here in Utah for that one. Then they host San Jose State, final home game before going on the road at Colorado State. And then the huge one at Boise to finish the regular season. Tarver's open again. Hesitation. Stop and go. And finally shoved out to 25, but there is a penalty flag down near the line of scrimmage. Tarver already with 103 receiving yards on 6 catches. But this one's coming back.
Ineligible player downfield, offense, number 72 and number 76. That's a 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. We'll replay first down.
That's the left side of the line, Alfred Edwards and Roman Andrus.
Yeah, you can see them just inching down the line. I mean, that's what you have to deal with when you run a lot of these RPOs, where the linemen, they don't know initially if you give it or you're going to throw it, and they just snuck down a little too far, and the refs are going to call that one. It's a shame. That was a heck of a play.
Well, it's still first down, though. 1st and 15. 12-12 to play, opening half. Love still with all day. Incomplete. One of the very few incompletions. Devin Tompkins laid out for it.
Jalen Burrell was in his hip pocket the majority of that route.
And look how much better Love is today compared to last season in a win, a double-digit win. But he's a different quarterback this season. That one too high for Taylor Compton. And it'll be 3rd and long.
Now earlier, Chris, you said heck of a first half for Jordan Love. What you meant to say is heck of a first quarter.
That's correct.
It's unbelievable when you look, there's 11:59 left in the second quarter, and he already has those numbers.
Now, New Mexico led this thing 3-0, and then Utah State just went off. Flag down at the line, and it's incomplete. Almost intercepted. Jason Rogers with the good coverage for New Mexico.
Offside, defense, number 11. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, third down.
They get Rashawn Epting, their leader in TFLs and sacks, 5.5 sacks coming into this game for the redshirt sophomore from Chicago, but he was offside.
Yeah, free play. Jordan Love recognized that and took a chance that he probably would not have taken had they not had that pre-snap penalty, but he knew he had a free one and was looking to gamble.
10 on the play clock. A rare time that it gets under 10 for Utah State. They set up the screen pass. That's Thompson. He's got all kinds of running room. Thompson to midfield. Thompson still going to the 20-yard line.
Credit to this offensive line here, getting the edge to where Thompson does not get touched until he's 25 yards down the field, it seems like, as he's high-stepping through some tackles. And I thought he was going to break that one, Chris. I thought he was going to the house.
55 yards on the screen pass. That's Marcus Hayes, the redshirt freshman from Rockford, Illinois. Our starter at the strong safety position, who's banged up. One of their best defensive players, and Bob Davie can't be liking the way this thing is going for New Mexico. He had to know it was probably going to be a long day with how good Utah State is, but I mean they had it down 7-3 marching in and had a shot at a touchdown pass, and it went for a touchdown the other way. A pick six. Down to Kristen Balboni.
Yeah, Aggies fans are loving Darwin Thompson. Baylor says Thompson is in beast mode with a great emoji. Becky says his footwork is incredible, and Sam said great body control.
Some Concorn. Just waiting for the whistle here as they get ready to go after the long completion inside the 20. And 1st and 10 for Utah State. Love over the middle, and there he is, Dax Raymond. His first game in a few weeks. Broke his right wrist, only missed a couple games. And that's touchdown number 6 for the Aggies. Extra point is good. It's 42-3, and Utah State's on pace for about 150 points.
Dax Raymond right there. You see him. He sneaks in right behind the nickel and the linebackers, and the run fake got people just to hold enough at the second level. Good to see Dax Raymond back in the lineup to catch a touchdown pass early in this game.
Another sub-60 scoring drive. 59 seconds, Kristen.
Yeah, guys, well, Aggies fans are all over Instagram, no doubt about it. We told everyone to use that hashtag UNMVSUSU. I'd love to see some Lobo fans. I've seen them in the Facebook comments still out there supporting their team. So send us your Instagram pictures as well, Lobo fans. This one is from SDJ Hickman. Hashtag Aggies all the way. Aggies are crushing it today. Yes, they are. Glad to see you here. Maybe we'll run into you at some point. More Instagrams using that hashtag SLamber73 or Slamber, I'm not quite sure. Go Aggies from Iowa, scoring non-stop. Hashtag Aggies all the way. And then our hashtag right there, UNMVSUSU. Jill Johnson Ballard checking in. Absolutely love it, Jill. Loving these Instagrams. So remember, we don't have any commercials, so we want to show you instead. Evoc Stream, I'm not saying that right, but I'm trying. I am trying. This changes everything. very, very cool there, right here at the stadium along with us. And as we told you a little bit early, it is Breast Cancer Awareness Day here. You see all the students and some of the players with their pink on. And you see right there, Diva has hashtag breast cancer awareness. It's really cool. They're handing out these gloves in the student section. The players for Utah State are wearing pink socks. Right here, great day, great cause, using that hashtag tackle cancer. Always a great cause, always just great to see it on the football field in October. So keep those pictures coming using that hashtag you see right there on the screen. We're having a good time here. Look at that. Look at all that pink there. These Utah State fans, the Herd, they do not mess around. Got some great costumes here, and of course we're loving all the pink. You can see it from a mile away. Everyone really came out in support of breast cancer awareness today, guys.
Thank you, Kristen. Utah State supporting breast cancer by, I hope they're donating money for each touchdown or each point, because they're going to be donating a lot if that's the case. So 42 points already. And there's 11:33 to play in the second quarter. Now the kick through the end zone, and it'll come out to the 25. A Stadium has a brand new fall lineup, if you haven't noticed. The day starts at 10 Eastern with a morning show we call The Territory, taking you through the biggest stories in sports across the country. Sauce and Shram airs at noon, followed by a high school show called Emerge at 2 p.m. Eastern. Campus Insiders at 2:30, and we wrap up the day by setting you up for the night in sports with the Rally. Game time in America, 6 Eastern on Stadium, a new way to watch sports. First and 10 for the 25. Jones to throw on the play fake. Has a man wide open and another drop. That's the third deep drop by New Mexico wide receivers in this game. This one from Cedric Patterson. That would have been his first career catch. He's never played, but forced into action here with a couple wide receivers out. We told you about Anselm Ume, who's attending his sister's wedding today, but also Emmanuel Harris did not make the trip. Zanir Schuler to the edge. The 3rd down and 4 for New Mexico.
Yeah, that first down drop by Cedric Patterson, I know it would be his first career catch, but those things are just, it's tough to see. I'm sure Bob Davie, the drops, everything, you pretty much have to play a flawless game to beat this Utah State team.
And they're going to have to get rid of it again, because it's 3 and out as David Woodward, team's leader in tackles, 7th in the nation, averaging 12 tackles a game, makes that stop from his inside linebacker position.
Yeah, Woodward was the Mountain West Defensive Player of the Week last week after the Wyoming game. 16 tackles, 1 forced fumble, and 1 pass breakup. They have guys playing well, like we said, in all 3 phases, but also all 3 levels of this defense too. D-line, linebackers, and secondary, they work very, very well together.
Boy, that was a bad snap. Tyson Dyer did a great job to catch that snap and get it away. Ends up being a touchback. It'll come out to the 20-yard line as Jordan Nathan just let it go. I want to apologize. I've called New Mexico State a couple of times, though. I'm sure they wouldn't mind giving this this kind of score to New Mexico State, the fans there in Albuquerque. Had Utah State and New Mexico State earlier this season in week 2. AJ and Kristen, we were here for that. They were 0-1 at the time. They're going to be 7-1 after this one.
I think a lot of people saw that first game of the year for Utah State. They took Michigan State to the wire, and Michigan State had to make an amazing tipped interception to seal the game. And that really put Utah State on the map, where people knew that, hey, you can't take these guys for granted. And they've proved week in and week out that they can put up some numbers.
Gerald Bright, first down run, 12 yards, and with 10.5 minutes to play in the first half, Jordan Love is about to have his career high for passing yards in a game. He's at 343. His career high is 356. So 14 more to break his own career record. And now they're working some clock. They just got guys that can run it. I mean, we don't hear a lot from Aaron Vaughn's 15 catches on the season, but that's his 6th carry, over 50 yards in the ground. There's a lot of guys involved in this offense. 4 different pass catchers have caught a touchdown in this first half.
Yeah, they just have so many different ways to beat you. And Jordan Love, he spreads the ball out very, very well. And when you have this many experienced receivers on the outside, as well as these tight ends too, you just pick your poison on where you want to beat a team.
And that was Savon Scarver, the great kick returner. Another first down. And now Love is 4 away from setting a new career high for passing yards in a game. I've never seen a team run clock with 9 minutes to go in the first half. But that's what Utah State is doing, and that's DJ Nelson. A converted quarterback making his first catch of the game. Another first down for Utah State as they come right at you with Gerald Bright. And it is a new career high for Jordan Love, 361 passing yards.
I guess the question now is, how long does he stay in, and how many more times does he get to throw the ball?
Doesn't throw it here. Right stuffed off that right side of the line.
Jordan Love is the perfect type of quarterback for this offense. And David Yost talked about his quick release, how he sees routes develop down the field. He can read the defense. He's really coming to his own. He plays with supreme confidence, too. And that's what's been very impressive today, watching him in person. Seen him on film enough, making plays, but to see how he has such a command of this offense, it's fun to watch.
Love will throw it, and he hit the back of Darwin Thompson's shoulder pads. It was a perfect throw. He never turned around for it.
Tell you what, this is a strike though by Jordan Love. Too bad Darwin Thompson's running with a wheel.
I mean, what's he doing there, AJ? Does he not think he's part of the?
It looked like he thought they were going to throw it to a receiver behind him, maybe, and he was looking for a block downfield to block maybe the nickel or a safety, but.
Well, it's something for Matt Wells and David Yost to point out in the game film from this first half. One of the very few issues that they've had.
Show them that and tell them, hey, we're not executing on offense.
We're not perfect, but they're pretty damn close. Darwin Thompson has the first down. Shoved back at the 15-yard line. They're 5 of 6 on third downs in this game.
Thompson wanted to make up for that one, get his quarterback some yardage back here, and breaks a few tackles and falls forward.
And now just muscling his way. Darwin Thompson inside the 5. Dude's 5'8", but he is strong. Squats 560. Has a vertical of 40 inches.
Squats 560. That's all you need to know right there, Chris.
He's a freak. Gerald Bright stays upright. Penalty marker behind the line.
Holding. Offense, number 52. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Still first down.
And this is Thompson showcasing his vertical leap of 40 inches. I mean, they got him out of a a JUCO in Oklahoma. Wells is certainly familiar with that area.
Look at the front squat. Much more difficult than the back squat there. Jeez.
Well, earlier on this season, game 2, Matt Wells was saying we're still waiting for Darwin Thompson to prove it week in and week out. This time, he said, yeah, he's really starting to show me something. We believe in him.
And off to Gerald Wright.
This might be the longest drive of the season for Utah State. They've been known to score in 60 seconds or less 15 plus times already this season. But milking some clock here. They got the ball with about 11 minutes to go in the first half and a 42-3 lead, so why not? They mark it at the 1-yard line. Gerald Bright wanted it. But it'll be 3rd and goal from just inside the 1. And a quick snap. And a handoff. And he's short. So 4th down. Fans say go for it. Go, go, go. And it looks like they will. Love looks back to the sideline for the play call. 5.5 minutes to play here in the first half. 4th and goal. Utah State with 42 unanswered. It's a keeper. Fourth rushing touchdown of the season for Jordan Love. And they're closing in on half a hundy in the first half.
Look at number 88, left side of your screen. The block right there that springs Jordan Love. Carson Terrell made that play happen. Coming back across the line of scrimmage from behind the center. Springing Jordan Love and letting him stroll into the end zone on the 4th down conversion.
Carson Terrell, who made that block, is on quite a roll. His coaches were talking about him this week for filling in for Dax Raymond. He's got a touchdown reception and a big block here to free up his quarterback. Down to Kristen Balboni.
Yeah, guys, one of the best things about doing these games on Facebook is to get to hear from all of the friends and family. You could see it. Our Stadium account posted a little bit earlier. Do we have any friends and family watching? It's one of my absolute favorite things. Catherine Bruin says, let's go Lobos. Elijah Lilly, number 19, go grandson. I absolutely love that. And Tasha Ross says her brother D'Angelo is playing and he's doing well. We also got to meet Utah State Center Quinn Ficklin's parents, who usually watch, and they have lots of family watching. We got to meet them during our production meeting yesterday, and they said that they love it because everyone from around the country gets to watch, even granddad. So Twyla Ficklin, we got to meet her. So if you are friends and family, we love hearing from all of you. Like I said, it's one of my favorite parts. So let us know if you got a player out here that you want us to shout out. Keep those comments coming. Remember, you can also chime in on Instagram using that hashtag UNMVSUSU, just like Brad Ferg is doing. He says, when you're sick but Stadium broadcasts the game on Facebook, I feel better, Brad. Or if it's one of the other people in there, we hope that you feel better. Thanks so much for watching us. That's a Utah State Aggies fan. Seth Clegg, smile big for the Aggies. Some cute kids today, man. Cute kids watching this game. Absolutely adorable with that little jersey. Kel Papp says, love watching the Aggies from Boise. Thank you for tuning in. You got a good crowd there, Kel. Absolutely love that. Keep that. Use that hashtag you see right there on the screen if you want us to show your Instagram as you see the fans here. Now, guys, you were talking about Jordan Love and the fact that he's already eclipsed career high in passing yards, and you're saying, well, how long are we going to see him out here? So check this out on Facebook now. We can do a poll. I want to hear from everyone who's watching. Do you think we will see Jordan Love in the second half? You can go on Facebook and you can vote. Let us know. We're going to be revealing those results. I think that's pretty cool. And I think that hat is pretty cool. Great big blue mascot hat there.
I don't know about you, AJ, but I'm gonna vote no. And I don't. If I'm a Utah State fan, I don't want to see him in the second half. Let's get the redshirt freshman Henry Colombi in the game. See him a little bit more. I don't want I don't want my star quarterback out there in a game that's already put away.
Nah, you're kind of torn, though, because you want to see how much he can put up, the numbers, everything that he is doing today. But you're absolutely right. The last thing you want is your quarterback who drives this whole ship to get hurt when you're up 49-3 in the first half.
Well, the big cheer that you hear after every kickoff is for a little gentleman that's running out on the field to collect the tee. And he just sprints out there, and there he is. He's getting his steps in. He needs that Gatorade today because, I mean, he might have to run out there 15 times as much as they're scoring. Jones throws it up and incomplete. He was looking for Hart Johnson. New Mexico had a chance to take a lead in this midway through the first quarter or so. About the 10-yard line of Utah State, and the pick six turned this game around. Shaq Bond took it 100 yards for the score to make it 14-3, and it's been a rout since. Schuler. Be third down and long. And there's still plenty of time here. I mean, they might cross the 50-point mark before halftime. I've never been a part of a game like this where it's turned so quickly. I know that Suli Tamavena is loving this because he's going to have bragging rights on his twin brother, City, who's on defense on the New Mexico side. 3rd and 9. Over the middle. That one's caught. Aaron Wade making the tackle. The reception by Elijah Lilly. Kind of have to hold your breath every time a New Mexico wide receiver is in open space because they've dropped so many of those already in this game.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing, Chris. It's good for them to help the quarterback out there and catch one of those balls.
Tyrone Owens with 11 yards on first down. And an injured Utah State player. It's Jontrell Rockamore. And Matt Wells loves him. He's a senior. Says he plays his best football in the biggest games. And they're going to have really big games coming up. Beginning next Saturday at Hawaii. They close the season at Boise. But Utah State sitting here. If we give them a win already, up 49-3, they'd be 7-1, 4-0 in conference, and they don't have to play Fresno State or San Diego State.
Yeah, everything is out there in front of them. They control their own destiny, no question.
Including an opportunity, perhaps, to host the Mountain West Championship game. But again, you might have to rely on college football playoff rankings to break a tiebreaker if Utah State and, say, Fresno State or San Diego State are also unbeaten in conference. It's a Utah State team that was picked to finish 4th in the Mountain Division. Can you believe that? Only picked ahead of Air Force and this New Mexico team.
Shows you what all of us analysts know, Chris. You can never really predict when a team's really going to put it all together like Utah State has.
Incomplete. Lilly had a glance off his hands once more. Well, what a turnaround it has been for Utah State. Matt Wells was in hot water a couple years ago. In fact, we were talking with some members of the New Mexico Sports Information Department, and they were talking about the game that these two played on this field 2 years ago. The fans were really upset about the clock management at the end, a loss to New Mexico. And credit to this athletic department for sticking with Matt Wells. And now potentially the greatest season in school history is on the table.
It's crazy to think where this team was just 2 years ago compared to where they are now. It shows you how quickly it could turn around. It's definitely a testament to this coaching staff here at Utah State. There's a buzz around this city here in Logan. Everybody can feel it, and everybody's ready. They want them to take that next step, become a ranked team, and really step out onto the national stage.
4th and 5, and New Mexico calls timeout. So Bob Davies going to talk this one over with 3:26 to play in the first half. Down 49-3. And we do have our poll results on whether or not Love should play in the second half, and 75% agree with me, AJ. They say no, he won't play in the second half.
Okay. He won't? Or he
I guess
shouldn't?
the question was, will he?
Okay.
I think there's another question for you is, should he? And I think
No, of course not.
he shouldn't. Do you think he will?
No, I don't think he will. I'm just saying that as an optimist. I like to see
Sure, we'd like to see
what
him in
he
there.
does, how he plays the game.
I mean, he could throw for 1,000 yards in this game if he keeps playing.
I mean, that's not that far off, Chris. You're not joking.
Well, he's at 377 right now with 4 touchdowns.
And he's kind of done it however he wants. Wherever he chooses to go with the ball. They've made plays all over this field. In the screen game, they've had success running, taking shots down the field. They've done it all.
Going forward on 4th down, and that's incomplete. Running back fell down. It was intended for Tyrone Owens. And Tipa Nalei got in the backfield in a hurry to force a quick pass. And it's a turnover on downs. 3:22 to play. A chance for Utah State to go over 50 points in the first half. They scored 60 against New Mexico State in the second game of the season. This was coming into today. They were averaging 0.6 points per play. Today they're averaging over a point a play, AJ. They scored 73 against Tennessee Tech. 59 against UNLV, just 24 last week. They are making up for it in a big way.
They can really beat you in many different ways. And I think last week, going back to that Wyoming game, shows you, and the coaches told us, yeah, they didn't have very good numbers on offense, but they didn't lose the game on offense. They very well could have turned the ball over a few more times, done things to lose that game, but no, their defense stood up, their special teams stood up and picked up where the offense had left off, and really showed that this team can win many, many different ways. And I think it was good for this team. Yeah, the offense wasn't really happy about their performance, but Laramie's a tough place to play, and those are games in the past where a lot of times it went the other way and they couldn't find a way to win. So that only builds your confidence going forward into the later half of this season.
49 points, the most in a half since 1991, and these teams can put up some points as well. How about the Mountain West? They could get 3 teams into the top 25. 3 teams at 6-1. Fresno State and San Diego State both have separate games later on tonight. But if Utah State can win this division, and that's a big, it's a big if, and Boise State's still out there, but they're likely to face either Fresno or San Diego State. And you see the only losses for these teams against Power 5 teams, 2 of them against top 15 teams. And boy, that Fresno State loss at Minnesota, a tough one to swallow right now, because Minnesota's struggling, and the play that Minnesota made at the end of that game, incredible interception to seal the victory. Well, Jordan Love is one of the main reasons why this Utah State team is about to win its 7th straight game. He has 4 touchdown passes in the first half on 377 yards passing.
And like we said, he can do it many different ways. Running right here, and Jordan Love he's a big man. If you look at him standing next to any of his teammates, this is a big guy, 6'4", 225 pounds. He's built like a big stand-up drop back passer in the NFL, but he can move. He's deceptively fast and elusive. He doesn't have to use, he doesn't rely on his legs, but he can if needed.
And this isn't a guy that's just throwing it up for a top receiver who's picking on maybe a weak spot in the defense. He's tossed it around to 10 different receivers in this game. Del Toro Allen getting his first carry of the game. Ball is out. New Mexico says they have it. And they do. That's Adebayo Surmakin on the fumble recovery. Allen's first carry of the game, and it certainly looked like he was still airborne.
Looked like Tohi came in there and ripped the ball after Allen was making that spin move and still on his feet fighting for extra yardage. Tohi comes in and does exactly what you practice usually at the beginning of every single practice.
They are going to take a look at this, but it certainly appeared to us like that was the right call. Bob Hubble is the...
After further review, the ruling of a fumble stands. First down, New Mexico.
I think on that one, Chris, whatever was called on the field was going to stay.
Yeah, had to stay with it. I mean, there's a chance that elbow might have been down, but you couldn't see it. You couldn't see if the ball was coming out or not. You need conclusive evidence. Didn't have it. So New Mexico with its first good play in a long time.
How does the ref get graded on that play? I wonder. I know they get graded on every call they make.
Well, there was an NFL official that got canned for a bad call
mid-season.
Lilly on the reception, but he gonna lose yards because Gage Ferguson was right in his grill.
Gage Ferguson, the fifth-year senior, is not fooled at all. You know what's funny, Chris? On this little chart I have that I bring to the games, I wrote under Gage Ferguson, open field tackler. And that's exactly what he showed me right there. Proved me right.
You've seen him play before in person. Last year against Wyoming, this year against New Mexico State. That one thrown up for grabs, and it's intercepted! DJ Williams with his first interception of the season. It's one thing to throw it up for grabs one-on-one, but there were two Aggies right there.
And Gage Ferguson was like laying in wait. If you watch here, you talk about high pointing the ball. That's exactly what DJ Williams does right there. He has outside leverage, an underneath defender as well in 25 Shaq Bond. They were covered wherever that ball was. Definitely a questionable decision by Sharon Jones pulling the trigger there, but man, what a play by DJ Williams.
First career interception in NCAA play. That ball is loose. Did he get out of the end zone? I'm not sure. Could be a safety. It is. Back-to-back awful plays for Utah State. A fumble by El Toro Allen, and then a fumble.
The ruling on the field is the ball was fumbled, recovered in the end zone, but the runner did not get it out of the end zone before he was down by rule. Therefore, it's a safety.
Aaron Blackwell, the injured New Mexico Lobo. It looked like an issue with the exchange. That's all it was.
That's something you work on every single day, is that mesh between the quarterback and the running back here. And obviously, Darwin Thompson thought that was going to be a pull by the quarterback, Jordan Love, and Jordan Love thought that Thompson gave him enough pressure there to pick it up and take that handoff. But man, that's just leaves a bad taste in the Utah State offensive coaches' mouth, in their mind. They just do not feel good about what has happened these last couple plays offensively.
So that's one heck of a score, 49-5. I've been keeping a close eye on the Iowa-Penn State game today. Iowa had two safeties in the first half. Safeties every now and then can be prevalent.
All right, Chris, now the question I have for you, let's say that New Mexico keeps the ball for the remaining 2:28 of the first half. Don't you think that Utah State will put Jordan Love and the starters back in at least for one series in the second half so they don't end the game like that?
Boy, I think so. I think you might be right. See if New Mexico can get something going here on offense. Nifty little return out past the 35-yard line by Dazon Rogers. And a cheer again for the little guy. roaring on and off the field to pick up the kickoff tee. I'm sure many of you know by now, but we are aware of the situation in Pittsburgh and the mass shooting there. Certainly our thoughts and prayers are with anyone affected. You can find that news anywhere you look right now. Zanir Schuler gets the carry, coming up on 2 minutes to play here in the first half. New Mexico might have bookend scores in this half. They kicked a field goal to start the scoring, led 3-0. They might bookend this thing with a safety, or maybe even something more here. Total yards almost up to 500 for Utah State, but they've fumbled on each of their last 2 plays. Sharon Jones throwing it, and again, hits the hands of a receiver and falls incomplete. Aaron Molina, playing in his 3rd game of the season. He's a senior. They do want to redshirt him, so they're only going to allow him to play 1 more game. That's the rule. You can play up to 4 and still redshirt. It is New Mexico football to start the second half. Third down and 8. Pressure up the middle, and down he goes. David Woodward and Sully Tamaivena.
Watch these inside backers here, crossing 42 and 9. Tamaivena and David Woodward. David Woodward's coming second. That's the 2 inside backers working with each other, and both of them getting in on this. Tamaivena, wow, splitting the center and the guard, going low on the quarterback, as his buddy number 9, David Woodward, cleans him up.
Well, Matt Wells told us this week that Sully Tamaivena is an explosive blitzer. Doesn't have a sack this season until now. That's because he missed 4 games with a broken hand. Wells says he thinks his best football is yet to come this season. Starting to get into a groove.
Utah State's defense has brought pressure on the majority of 3rd downs that they have been in. And New Mexico has shown that they cannot pick it up.
Utah State called timeout to maybe try to put some more points on the board. A great kick from Tyson Dyer. Bounces at the 5 and down at the 8. He's been the MVP for New Mexico. Tyson Dyer, the sophomore from Australia, 26 years old, and he's taken over for an NFL punter. Corey Bojorquez is the Buffalo Bills punter. It's a 60-yard punt, and that went about 63 in the air and bounced back.
Yeah, hits the 5-yard line and bounces directly back and almost hits the returner for Utah State. Give this offense a long field. I'm sure they want to execute a few plays here, coming off 2 turnovers.
Yeah, 2 straight plays where they fumbled. They lost the fumble on the first, and then it was a safety on the second. Guarantees holding on to it here, and Gerald Bright does just that. The first fumble was by El Toro Allen, the second from Darwin Thompson. So you put Bright in there and you tell him, don't be like the other guys. Bright is the leading rusher in the game for Utah State. 57 yards, over the middle caught. 40-yard line, Jordan Nathan. And 54 seconds is an eternity for this offense. Bijan Parker is the injured New Mexico Lobo, their starter at free safety. So the clock stops with 52 seconds to go here in the first half, and a 49-5 lead for Utah State. Over New Mexico. Hey, join us next Saturday 3 p.m. Eastern Time. The Thundering Herd of Marshall visiting the Southern Miss Golden Eagles. That game exclusively right here on Facebook. Stadium, welcome to the game. Some Conference USA football. We'll be down at the Shula Bowl. FAU at FIU. Butch Davis at FIU putting together a great season in Conference USA. Not so much for Lane Kiffin. FAU is 3-5. Thought we'd have a first place team in that game, but as our director Marty points out, we thought it would be FAU and not FIU. Bob Davie, his 7th season at New Mexico. Jordan Love has been here for almost 3 years now. He's just a sophomore, but came in the winter of 2016, January of 2016. They wanted him coming into this season to show more consistency. He had shown flashes. He certainly did that in the Michigan State game. And I guess with the exception of last week, he has been on, and no more on than in this game. Already a career high in passing. Over 400 passing yards in the first half. And a timeout called with 40 seconds left.
Utah State, their second timeout of the half. This is a 30-second timeout, 30 seconds.
Utah State head coach Matt Wells even told us, yeah, although they lost to Michigan State 31-38 in their opener, he didn't say it was a moral victory or anything like that, but he said we took a lot of confidence from that game. We took them down to the wire, and we could have won that ball game. They made a spectacular play to seal the victory. Michigan State did. But I think you can, starting out the year like that, although it was a loss, they realized that, hey, we can stand with anybody. We can stand up and play with whoever they throw at us, and they've shown that. Winning 6 in a row here on the way to 7, really having their way with their opponents.
After today, they'll be 7-1, and it'll be their best start since 1965. Over 50 years.
What do you say if you're Bob Davie at halftime? I guess you guys got to tell your team to keep fighting, but man,
that is a really good question. Aaron Vaughn's on the catch. That's a first down, and this is how that Michigan State game ended. Down 7, they were in Michigan State territory, 3rd and 1, and just a great play by an All-American who won the game for Michigan State. Love gets hit and sacked. It's Adebayo Sermican who had the fumble recovery earlier in the quarter.
This is their final charge time out of the half. 30 seconds.
Mark it at the 44-yard line. Already to the 9th most passing yards in a game in school history. And we're still in the second quarter. 5 total touchdowns for Jordan Love from Bakersfield, California. He's talking with a friend that worked in the Fresno area. He's telling him I was doing the Utah State game. He said, boy, I don't know how Fresno State let this kid get away. I know Fresno State's got a good quarterback right now, but Jordan Love was right in their backyard, and Matt Wells got him to come to Logan.
Yeah, usually they're lacking something when a player like him slips away from the hometown team, or for whatever reason someone's not recruited as much as he should. But Jordan Love, 6'4", 225, he has all the height, he has all the measurables. He has a big arm. I know he's grown into and become much better since he's got here on campus. But he's an elite quarterback.
That pass is caught, and out of bounds goes Aaron Vaughn's. 21 seconds to go, no timeouts for Utah State. Anthony on Facebook says that Jordan Love is a future Heisman winner. I don't know about that, but
he should definitely, if he continues to progress the way he has, he should be in the conversation.
A jump pass, incomplete, intended for Darwin Thompson. 16 seconds to go in this first half. Now, they've had some good quarterbacks here. Matt Wells was a quarterback, the head coach now. And remember Chucky Keaton?
Oh, yeah. I'm sure people around here are very excited that Jordan Love has 2 more years of eligibility after this year.
Yeah, he's just a sophomore. Chucky Keaton on the sidelines as the quarterback's coach. End zone into the sun and incomplete. 10 seconds to go. Now down to 9 seconds here in the first half. 7 scores, all touchdowns for Utah State so far. We've only seen Dominic Eberle on the point after touchdowns, 7 for 7. One of the top kickers in the nation. He's averaging over 10 points a game. He may get there in this one without a field goal.
Here's that 3-by-1 formation. Again, actually 4-by-1 if you count the back, and Savon Scarborough is by himself up at the top.
Love looking left side, and it's caught at the 16 and out of bounds with 4 seconds left. Ronquavian Tarver with his 7th reception of the first half, and here comes the field goal unit. It'll be a field goal of 35 yards. The holder is DJ Nelson. And Dominic Eberle's kick is right down the middle, and that ends a remarkable first half for Utah State. They hang 52 on the Lobos in 30 minutes. Already career highs for Jordan Love with 448 passing yards. And they may set a scoring record if it continues to go this way.
I would imagine we have seen the last of Jordan Love for Utah State.
Kristen Balboni will be with Matt Wells momentarily. I'm guessing he's going to reference the fumbles. It's just a guess.
You think coaches dwell on things like that, Chris? When you're up 52-5 at half, you're right.
And down to Kristen with Matt Wells.
Coach, you told us earlier this week you had 2 of the best practices you've had in a month, and then you come out, you put up 52 points while allowing just 5. What do you say to your guys in the locker room at the half?
Well, I say good job, because that's the start that we wanted. It was absolutely a great job by the defense. I don't know how many 3-and-outs we had, but we just found ways to protect the quarterback, make big catches, and run the ball. And so they're playing off each other. They're feeding off each other. What I tell them is, honestly, I try to be real with them. They know what the score is. I'm not going to come in there and give them some 0-0 old school speech, because what I'm going to ask them to do is come out and score the first series of the third quarter, come out and get a 3-and-out, and then if other guys get in the game, they have to uphold a standard that's already been put in front of them.
Speaking of scoring, Jordan Love already a career high in passing yards in just the first half, 4 passing touchdowns, 1 on the ground. What can you say about his first half here today?
He's rebounded nicely after last week, I would say that. He's done a nice job.
Are we going to see him in the second half, Coach?
Yeah, probably the first series, and then we'll get him out.
All right, Coach, thank you so much. We appreciate it. All right.
557 total yards in the first half for Utah State. They told us they were upset about only scoring 24 last week at Wyoming. They're showing us that they can be a lot more potent on O, as they're only going to up their average. Came in averaging 48 points per game. That was 4th in the country. So second half, your Utah State, what do you do if you're the head coach, AJ?
If I'm the head coach and I'm Utah State, like I said, I'm coming out there. Let's make some plays early. Let's get some young guys some experience at home. And you know what? Try to embrace this atmosphere a little bit. You don't get to blow teams out like this too often. Now, Utah State, they put up a ton of points all the time. But, hey, regardless, New Mexico is they're still a solid football team. They have 3 wins this year. You're not rolling some high school team. So I think embrace the moment, enjoy it, help your team bond, get some young guys some valuable playing time, and keep it rolling through next week.
And maybe they'll score 100 points because they're more than halfway there. Third quarter is coming up in just a few seconds. We'll step aside real quick and be right back. Get back to the line of scrimmage. Sharon Jones, 10 of 24, 110 yards, a couple interceptions, and one of them was a pick 6. It really turned this game around early. It got out of hand quickly after that. Great push from Devon Anderson. That one thrown up for grabs and intercepted. Look out! Could be another pick 6. Kevin Mitzenheimer out of bounds at the 10. And that started with Devon Anderson just blowing up the left tackle. Actually, it was the running back, Owens, that got blown up.
I mean, that's a mismatch if I've ever seen one, Chris. You put the back on a defensive end. Ooh. Tyrone Owens, that is tough duty right there. And Sharon Jones just ill-advised pass there. Had pressure coming from all angles. Probably should have just thrown that one out of bounds.
Third interception thrown by Jones. Keeper for Love. Gets a yard. 5 total touchdowns in the first half for Jordan Love. 4 through the air, 1 on the ground. 448 yards passing in the first half. Already a career high by a lot. He keeps it. Looking for more. Looking for Tarver. He had 4 Lobos around him. Smart of Love to just throw it away.
So the defense did their job, what Coach Wells wanted. They exceeded expectations. Actually, he said 3 and out. They got a turnover. Let's see if this offense can get a score and see who they put on the field next offensive possession if they do get into the end zone here.
Bright to the left, Thompson to the right. Fade to Green, and he tried to bring it in one-handed, incomplete. Wanted the penalty flag, but doesn't get the call. Faison Rogers on the coverage for New Mexico. And on 4th down, it'll be a 27-yard field goal attempt from Dominic Eberle. He made a field goal to end the first half. He makes a field goal to start the second half. 55-5, and Utah State's up 50. Points off the interception, and we mentioned at the top that there are a couple of twin brothers facing off against one another in this game. Sidaveni Tamavena on the New Mexico side, and Suli Tamavena on the Utah State side. And AJ, not only do they look alike, they play alike.
Well, look at City up top. You watch him. Both of these guys are great blitzers. Now watch Suli on the bottom here in the arrow. They both kind of have that side shuffle to the line of scrimmage. They know how to time it up well too, but they move very, very similar. And Coach Davey was telling us all about how neither of them really lift their feet up off the ground very much. They kind of have a shuffle to them, and they look very, very similar. If they swap jerseys, I wonder if their mom could even pick them out. But both these guys love blitzing, they love contact, they both play downhill, but just their mannerisms, how they move is super impressive. And they're both very, very positive guys for their teams, and both coaches could not say enough about these kids and what they bring to their teams.
And, well, Sidaveni Tamavena on the losing end of this one. His brother, Suli, with a sack in this game. But Sidaveni has a son, and he named him Suli after his brother.
I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. I have 3 sons. Guess what? I have 2 brothers too. And they do not have the name of any of my brothers, of either of my brothers. I wonder if they're upset now that they're watching this broadcast.
Well, we certainly welcome all of your posts on Facebook, the message board on the right side of the screen, and also on Instagram. Kay Crump tweeting a picture of the little one with some Aggie ice cream. Aggies all the way. Kristen promised she was going to get us some of that ice cream today. Hasn't quite come through on that. Steve Palmer is supporting his favorite team from deep in the heart of Utah County. Some Utah State monkey there, along with the bull. Some fans at the stadium as well. Conray in the stands. Looks like he's in the student section with a halftime post. Fun weekend for these fans, celebrating Halloween, celebrating another victory for Utah State. Monica on a date with hubby, watching the Aggies crush New Mexico, just like they did to New Mexico State in the home opener. This one being returned by Rogers, and the ball is out. Looks like Utah State has it. They do. Chance Parker on the recovery. And just a textbook tackle there. And Nelson knew it right away. Forcing the fumble. Teammate picks him up. Chase Nelson is the brother of DJ. And now we have a new quarterback in. That's it for Jordan Love. This is Henry Columbi. His dad played at Ole Miss. Columbi has played in 3 games this season. Hands it off to El Toro Allen, who fumbled on his only carry of the first half. So 2 turnovers for New Mexico, deep in their own territory to start this second half. And working some clock here, something we don't normally see Utah State do, but with this kind of a lead, they started milking the play clock with more than 10 minutes to go in the second quarter. They were up 40 plus. Allen spun down. It'll be 3rd down. They can get a first down at the 4. Aggies love playing on Stadium and Facebook. 60 points against New Mexico State, 73 against Tennessee Tech, 59 against UNLV, and 55 and counting today. They're going to move to 4-0 on Stadium Facebook games this season. Up by 50 and looking for more. Columbi to the end zone, incomplete, intended for Tarver. Good coverage by Jalen Burrell. The referee there saying, or the official saying, it was uncatchable anyway, even if there was some contact.
Yeah, Columbi still has the starting receiving core and tight ends in the game with him. They've mixed in some backup offensive linemen. You can put different guys in the game, but trust me, they want to score just as bad as the starters did too. So they're still going to find a way to get some points on the board.
Eberle is now 3 for 3. He was 6 for 6 in the New Mexico State game earlier this season. Tied the all-time record for most points in a game by a college kicker. And he's got 16 already in this one. Aggies 3-0 in conference. That'll move on to 4-0. Already the best start since '74. That will now be the best start since 1965 at 7-1. Their only loss to Michigan State. 8 non-offensive touchdowns. One of them in this game. They almost had another. We're still not done.
Chris, that's right. That right there. 8 non-offensive touchdowns is gigantic. They're tied for first in all of FBS. If you can do that and you pair that with this explosive offense, are you kidding me?
Last season they had 7 non-offensive touchdowns, and I thought that was a lot, so much so that I put it on my notes coming into the season for the first game, but they've already surpassed that. And of course they are bowl eligible for the 7th time in 8 years, but Matt Wells said, look, I didn't even know last week we became bowl eligible until somebody told me. That's how good of a season it has been. Bowl eligible, the earliest they've ever been bowl eligible. Taking a tour of stadium scenes from downtown Logan. Welcome to Aggie country, and it is beautiful this time of year. Kind of on the back end of fall. A lot of leaves have fallen, but a lot still on the trees. Bright yellow. There's the Logan Tabernacle. You can follow Stadium Scenes on Instagram. The Waffle Iron, I bet they've got a good waffle there. When you need a little more than your standard waffle. John Flower, our producer, was out touring the town at the Bluebird restaurant, Fountain and Candy. And Old School Theater, the Utah Theater. Looks like they were showing the ring. And it's a look at downtown right now. Beautiful day, mid-60s. It's been pretty cold here of late. Warm day, unseasonably warm for Logan, Utah. Just one more home game in the regular season, but AJ, as I mentioned earlier, they keep winning. There's a chance they would host the Mountain West Conference Championship game.
I know that's definitely a goal of this team and this coaching staff. They would love to use the home field advantage for such a huge game and get themselves one more chance to play in this great stadium, and I'm sure it would be electric for that championship game.
That game would be played on December the 1st, and what an advantage that would be against a San Diego State or a Fresno State coming into the cold weather.
Here we go, watch him flossing here.
Here he goes.
Just a little quick one. Bam, get it. He knows he's doing. He's winning the crowd over.
Kristen, you have more?
That's right, guys. I tracked him down, the star of the show. His name is Daxton Alder. He is 6 years old, and he seemed shocked that everyone was loving him. I said, hey, everyone's talking about you on this broadcast, and then he gave me a little tutorial on flossing. He's awesome, by the way. He said he'll be here all game. I hope they bring him back because he's certainly a fan favorite. I mean, what doesn't he do? He's helping with the gloves. He's moving the tee. Gotta love it.
They kicked off about 10 times, so he's definitely getting those steps
Getting a lot
in.
of airtime.
Marcus Williams stepped out. There is a new quarterback for New Mexico. It's Colton Gerhardt. Familiar last name. His brother is Toby Gerhardt, Heisman runner-up back in 2009 for Stanford. Colton, a senior from California, has been hurt since early in the season. Had thrown just one pass. And they said he'd be available today, but they didn't think he would play today. Well, in a game like this, getting him back out there, and that was a good pass. Anu Samoye on the reception.
I know he hurt his foot in the first game. He looked pretty good there, moving outside the pocket and getting the completion. He looks like he's moving very well today. Let's see if he can find a way to get some rhythm with his offense and put some points on the board.
He keeps it, throws it. And it's Samoye again. First down. Offense kind of looks like it did the opening drive of the game when they marched down for their only offensive score, a field goal. They got a safety near the end of the first half on a Utah State mistake. A fumble that was recovered by Utah State in their own end zone. The throw again, and whoa, that was close. Great timing. Cameron Haney hit him as soon as the ball arrived. I think some were looking around for a flag, but I think he timed it perfectly.
Yeah, I think that's a good no call right there. If he would have turned his eyes inside, he could have found a way to get a pick six.
They don't need another pick six.
You're right. I like Gerhardt's brought a little sense of urgency to this offense, though. You can tell he wants to do well, although down 58-5. He wants to make plays.
Well, he's going up top. Has a man wide open. It's caught inside the 20, and out of bounds inside the 15 is Aaron Molina. And there's an injured Utah State player. It's Shaq Bond who had the pick six. Take a look, AJ.
Just a little zone read fake. Lost the ball beautifully over Shaq Bond. And it's good to see Molina reel this one in. He's had a few drops today, and he almost finds a way to stay on his feet and stay in bounds.
It's good for 33 yards, but the concern now is for Shaq Bond, who had the pick six that turned this game in the first quarter. New Mexico was going in for what could have been a go-ahead score, down 7-3, and Bond picked it off and brought it back 99 yards, looking at the right knee. And I'm sure the comments are coming. Why do you have any starters in the game at this point? But there's still a lot of football left. I mean, we just started the third quarter. You're always going to be second guessed as a coach in a situation like this. But I mean, you can't just go 3 and 4 deep because you're up by 55 with still half a game to play. See if we can take a look at the knee.
It was his right knee that they were looking at. Looks like he may have twisted it a little bit, but we're seeing him walk off, not completely under his own power, but he's up and moving it. That's a good sign.
The toe might have gotten stuck in the turf just a touch when he swung around.
Yeah, put a lot of torque on that knee. Hopefully it's nothing serious.
And there we go. Scott on Facebook says there should be no starters in the game for Utah State. What is Matt Wells thinking?
I mean, it's just tough. With 10:30 to play in the third quarter, there's a lot of football left in this game. Like, are you going to sub out all 22 starters offensively and defensively?
And look, we're not saying that there's so much time left that New Mexico could come back and make it a game. That's not going to happen. But it's just a lot of time. I mean,
I bet they systematically will start subbing out 1 or 2 guys each series instead of everybody at once.
Gerhardt throws it again on the option. That one's caught, and it'll be a touchdown. That's Brandon Dickey, transfer from Washington. First touchdown for New Mexico. And a good drive from Colton Gerhardt in relief of Sharon Jones.
Blocking on the outside with the receivers, and Dickey just finds a way to get in there. And hey, Gerhardt definitely brought a sense of urgency to this offense. Getting into the game on this drive and lead them down and scoring, now going for 2 here.
And you know what he's thinking? If he can perform well here, show him that he's healthy, he's thinking he could become the starting quarterback. Like offside on Utah State as that pass goes incomplete. Definitely movement, but since it wasn't blown dead, it's likely on the defense.
Offside. Defense, number 47. Half the distance to the goal. We'll retry for the extra point.
I mean, Utah State didn't think it was on them. Their whole defense had already ran off the field. They were moving on, but Logan Lee, he said he jumped offside, so Gerhardt and this New Mexico offense gets another chance.
2-point conversion. Gerhardt throws it, caught by Owens. And it's 58-13. Ten minutes to go here in the third quarter. Doesn't get much easier for New Mexico next week either. They are home against San Diego State. Columbia going deep into the sun, and Green makes the catch inside the 20.
I'm glad you mentioned that, Chris. Into the sun there. Jalen Green, that is not an easy thing to do when you're looking back into the sun right here, as you will see. It's very easy to lose that ball in the sun, but he goes up over the top of Rogers and pulls that one in.
He's over 100 yards receiving. And 3 starts while he was at Southern California, played in 21 different games. And he actually played with the brother of Aaron Vaughns, who's his teammate now. Aaron's brother, Tyler, is on that USC team with Jalen Green. Right back to Green. The Mexico defense is ready for that.
Utah State, too, the coaches want to see what kind of execution this second team offense has. They don't get nearly the reps that the first team gets, but how they execute in a game is what these coaches are looking for, and so far so good. A lot of times when you sub almost 11 players out, which they haven't subbed everybody out, they still have some starting receivers in the game, tight end, but you'll see sloppy play, quarterback center exchange, quarterback running back exchange issues. We haven't seen that yet.
It'll now be 3rd down. New Mexico has seized a little bit of momentum in this game, at least to feel a little bit better about itself. Down 58-5 at one point, scored a touchdown last drive, made the quarterback change. And now we've got 2 quarterbacks in the game that we didn't expect to see today. Colton Gerhardt for New Mexico and Henry Colombi for Utah State. Colombi, a redshirt freshman, as I mentioned, so he might have an opportunity to start when Jordan Love moves on. But Love just a sophomore. Allen the call. Cuts it back. He's got the first down.
El Toro Allen here. Watch him put his foot in the ground and cut it back up the field. Sometimes that's a dangerous move. You gotta have some guts to do that, because you have your defensive lineman running inside out, and you can get caught if you don't have much vision. But Allen knew what he was doing, got upfield and put it down the 4-yard line, gave his team a chance to score.
The fact that they've been running clock here since early on in the second quarter because of the blowout, probably gonna stick in the craw of David Yost, who wants to be dead last in the country in time of possession. He said that they don't go fast to run a certain number of plays. They don't go fast because they want to run a ton of plays. They go fast because they want to score as quickly as possible.
And that's the thing. They want to score. They don't care about putting up. They don't care about stats of how many yards, time of possession, number of plays. We just want to score as fast as we possibly can. That is the one stat that matters. Points that we score on offense. And lucky for him, the defense and special teams has been helping in that category as well.
Scoring fast, that all changed when it was 42-3 with 11.5 to go in the first half. Allen, another cutback. Push that pile all the way to the 1-yard line. Third and goal. Still 20 seconds to milk here if they want to. Allen again, the running back. Colombi, the backup quarterback. Hands it off to Allen, and he's short. So 4th and goal. Fans saying go for it. But here comes the field goal unit.
Yeah, the crowd wants them to go for this. 4th and less than 1, but it's probably the right move here. Kick a field goal, get them 3 points.
About the shortest field goal you could ever get, 18 yards. Eberle has been good from 34, 28, 27, and 18. There is a flag in the end zone. Might be for a New Mexico player leaping over the center. Kevin Hassel, the referee, wants to have a word with Matt Wells.
Personal foul, leaping on the defense, number 45. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the succeeding kickoff. The three-point field goal is good.
61-13. Down to Kristen Balboni.
Yeah, well, I told you one of the best things about doing this game on Facebook is getting to see all the friends and family chiming in. Been really loving seeing those from both sides on the broadcast. And this is Quinn Ficklin's family, Cole Ficklin cheering for number 51, and the Aggies all over the country, and especially where the sagebrush grows. Nice group there. I said earlier we got a chance to meet his mother, Twyla. Twyla and Wade are his parents. They always watch, as do many of the parents and family members on both teams. So we absolutely love seeing those pictures. Keep those pictures coming with that hashtag UNMVSUSU. Love seeing them.
Thank you, Kristen. No commercial breaks here on Facebook. We appreciate everyone joining us today on Facebook using your mobile device or your tablet. Maybe you're just streaming it to your TV. That penalty means that they kick it off from the 50 and just kick it right through the back of the end zone. Penalty for leaping over the center. Eberle, by the way, 4 for 4, the kicker. He has 19 points in this game. He set a record the last time I was here for points in a game. He was 6 for 6 kicking field goals and had a bunch more PATs. He scored, I believe it was 24 points. Is that Elvis? Looks like Elvis got himself a long piece of bread. Kristen?
Yeah, Eberle, and if you remember, Chris, when we were here last time, he told us that he didn't even start playing football. He was a soccer player from Germany. What an incredible mark he's made for someone that didn't even pick up the game until much later in life.
No kidding. He had 6 extra points and 6 field goals in that game. Gerhardt kept it, lost a couple, 3rd down and long. Checking in with Instagram as well, and there he is. 9 different times, at least, I think. 9 times, what are we doing? A little math here. 174 yards of offense.
No, he has.
No. He has 450 yards of offense.
He has outgained the New Mexico offense. 450 to 174. Wow, keeping him busy.
Squiggly line threw me off there.
Yeah, what is that?
Gerhardt tumbles down, and eventually it was Adewale Adeoye who brought him down.
Gerhardt just fighting for his life, trying to find some space, stay on the field. You know what's funny, Chris? I played against his brother Toby, bruising tailback, when he was in the Vikings, and I played with his other brother Garth, who was a member of the Packers for a few years.
Garth, I wasn't aware of Garth.
Oh yeah, Garth played offensive line.
Garth Gerhardt, that's why offensive linemen just don't get the love.
I know, that's why I want to give him a little bit.
There you go. He's going to roll to the 21-yard line. I'll tell you again about the new fall lineup that Stadium has for you. 10 Eastern, the day begins with the Territory, taking you through the biggest stories in sports all across the country. Sauce and Shram is at noon. Then the high school show Emerge at 2 p.m. Eastern. Campus Insiders then at 2:30. And we wrap up the day with Game Time in America at 6, getting you ready for the night in sports. The Rally, Game Time in America, 6 p.m. Eastern. Stadium, a new way to watch. Welcome to the game. Utah State hasn't been a very welcome host this season. Just pounding opponents into submission, but that ball is out, and that's going to be 6. And Latoe, who forced the first fumble, picks that one up and scores a touchdown. And that is now the 3rd fumble by a running back today for Utah State.
This is the second fumble of the day for El Toro Allen. Eva Tohe is just right place at the right time around the ball to pick this up and scoop and score. El Toro Allen gets upended, ball comes out. Looks like everything is all clear for New Mexico, and it's truly a fumble, and they get in the end zone. Geez, what a quick turn of events here.
Timeout, New Mexico. Their first timeout of the half.
New Mexico calls a timeout. I think they're going to go for 2 to try to cut it to 40.
Trying to get everybody ready. I mean, they had the whole offensive line. Everybody's back here sitting on the benches trying to go over the last series, and then all of a sudden your defense scores so quickly. I understand why they had to call that timeout.
Recap it just a bit. New Mexico jumped out to a 3-0 lead a couple minutes into the game with a 53-yard field goal. And then Utah State scored 6 touchdowns in less than 15 minutes of game time. Scored 42 points in less than a quarter of game time. It was 42-3 with 11 and a half minutes to go in the first half.
I mean, if you were in the stands here, Chris, and you asked your family, hey, you guys want some couple drinks, some popcorn, hot dogs?
You missed at least 4 touchdowns.
If you wait in line and you wait and try to go to the condiment station and get ketchup for your hot dog, you missed 21 points.
If you're lucky. Gerhardt to throw, looks back the other way, and that's incomplete. Intended for Delane Hart-Johnson.
Intended for number 2, Delane Hart-Johnson. On the coverage for Utah State, Gerard Green.
Gerard Green on the coverage there, AJ. 33 seconds to go here in the third.
Well, if there's one thing, we know this New Mexico team has some fight in them. Coach Davey wanted to see what kind of character they had, or if they're going to lay down and just give it to Utah State and let them run all over in the second half, which they really haven't. Scoring on defense for New Mexico. The defense has been, they haven't stopped Utah State for the most part, but they've stood up and made some plays. Flying to the ball, still trying to be a physical defense. So 61-19, they're trying to score some more points and make it a little bit more of a respectable look there on the scoreboard.
AJ was talking about Colton Gerhardt's brothers, Toby and Garth, who he played with and against in the NFL. He also has a set of triplet sisters.
First and 10 innings at around 25-yard line.
So 6 Gerhardts altogether, are we saying, or is there any more brothers? Do we know?
Probably more. How about this dynamic duo at wide receiver for Utah State? Tarver, 7 catches for $112 and a touchdown. Green, 4 catches for $108. First game since 2012 with a pair of 100-yard receivers, and they were basically there in the first half. Green, by the way, averaging 27 yards per reception. Penalty marker down.
Snap infraction, offense, number 68. Penalty, still first down.
With El Toro Allen's 2 fumbles, I'm not sure we're going to see much more of him in this game. Justin Hervey getting his first carry for Utah State. Hervey, a senior from Beaumont, Texas. And that's going to be one thing they'll be able to work on this week here in Logan, holding on to the football. And that'll be the end of the third quarter as the clock hits triple zeros.
That's the end of the third quarter.
61-19. Jordan Love only really played a half and set a career high with 448 passing yards. That's why we're seeing the backup Henry Colombi in this game. Snap with 3 on the play clock. And number 3 sets back to throw the screen. Broken tackle. And Hervey has the first down.
Late to Justin Hervey. On the tackle, Sean Happy.
Hey fans, did you know you can stream college football all season long with Sling TV for only $25 a month? Try Sling TV for free right now at sling.com. See if you like it. We think you will. Restrictions apply. And look at the great setting, the great backdrop we have here in Logan. D'Angelo Ross, the banged up New Mexico Lobo, who turns 23 on Monday. Really good cornerback, overmatched today in that secondary by these great Utah State playmakers.
That was a big collision downfield there that D'Angelo Ross was a part of. He looked to be all right, but they're still hitting out there. He definitely delivered a blow. Looks like he wants to get back in the game and work on his shoulder a little bit.
So 1st and 10. The screen pass gets it out to the 35-yard line. Hervey again, the carry, the cutback, using those blocks.
And out to Justin Hervey.
Just 8 carries all season entering this game. 3 carries. And that reception for 13 yards. Everybody in on the action.
Justin Hervey sees the short corner there as the whole left side of the line was collapsed down. He has the good vision and the awareness to cut it back and push it up in there and get about 9 yards.
.157 yards on the ground for Utah State. Mostly done it through the air. Hervey again at 45 and a first down.
Chris, and I'm wondering about the how. Is that only for Utah State students, or do they let other people enjoy it?
Well, it's too late now anyway.
I know. I'm so surprised Kristen didn't. Kristen usually is all around town. That seemed right up her alley.
Oh, you're saying I should have gone?
Yeah.
I didn't know if that would be, kosher. Nobody wants an old lady there.
Sure.
I did hear a couple of students that are working the game for Utah State in the elevator on the way up to the press box talking about the how. And one of them didn't get to go and said, "How was it?" And the other person said, "It was chill."
It was chill. Our graphics guy, Alex, really wanted to go. We should have sent him.
Alex would have fit right in.
Maybe get on some of that Cirque du Soleil trampoline work they were doing. It looks like you got to be pretty talented to go to the how. It's a bit intimidating.
You have to have some kind of trade. 2nd and 3, 48-yard line of New Mexico for Utah State.
Looks like New Mexico showed a blitz a little too early. Now it looks like they checked out of it. Utah State motions over to 3-by-1 and checks out of whatever play they had called.
It's a keeper. Columbia tripped up just before the first down marker. Utah State just has not been involved in many close games this season. Last week winning by 8, but they do have a streak of consecutive losses by 7 or fewer. They've lost 9 straight games decided by 7 points or fewer. 0-3 last season. Their last tight win, 7 or fewer, was in 2015 against Nevada. But of course last week it was 8. That's a close game. And Matt Wells thought that game, along with the Air Force game, they've really exercised those demons. And he believes that if they are in a close game, outside of that Michigan State loss by 7, that they're going to perform well. Because they expect to win now. And as we saw last week, they don't just expect to win, they expect to win by a lot. They weren't satisfied with that 24-16 victory over Wyoming.
Absolutely. It's a good sign for your team when you can go to Laramie, a very, very difficult place to play, get a victory, and for the most part, you were disappointed. Defense played great, special teams played well, but the offense was disappointed, and I think that's a big reason why they came out on fire today.
That ball is still loose. Mexico's got it again.
Recovered by New Mexico.
It's the 4th backfield fumble for Utah State in this game. One of them resulted in a safety. Cody Baker was the one to fall on it for New Mexico.
And please welcome your USU Spirit Squad.
Well, they'll be eagerly awaiting the AP poll rankings tomorrow here in Logan, though Matt Wells says his team isn't focused on that. They don't care. And I was kind of joking around with him about it. Like, you really don't care? No, don't care.
Yeah, they don't really pay attention to a lot of the outside noise, good or bad. That's a good thing. You're never as good as they tell you are, and you're never as bad as they tell you you are. So I think that's a healthy mindset to take.
Well, I think at this point of the season that this team should be ranked. I think that they will be in the AP poll tomorrow for sure. And we'll find out on Tuesday if they're in the college football playoff ranking, top 25.
Yeah, if they're not ranked inside the top 25 after winning 7 in a row, especially the way that they have done it, that'd be crazy. I definitely expect them to crack into the rankings after this one.
The critics would say that outside of Michigan State, they haven't played anybody. The best win is at BYU. BYU is not good this season. But they'll get some chances. Hawaii would be a really good win on the road. They go to Boise, and then if they make it to the Mountain West Championship game, likely playing either Fresno or San Diego State. BYU, by the way, lost 7-6 at home today to Northern Illinois.
7-6, huh?
Saw more points than that in the first minute of this game, it seemed like. Gerhardt throwing it again, and wide. Intended for Jay Griffin, the 4th.
Intended for number 23.
4th down and 8, the punt unit is out. 9:50 to play in the game. If this was a high school game, we would have had a running clock in the 2nd quarter. Dyer really has been their MVP in this game. He's been very impressive. A 26-year-old from Australia. Might have a future getting paid to do this. Like Bojorquez, who he replaced. A rugby kick. Bounces at the 20, and again, some backspin. He uses the sand wedge a lot. We'll send it down to Kristen Balboni, the 3rd member of our crew.
Well, guys, yesterday my crew and I had a chance to go out and check out the campus, and we definitely took a look at the campus store, which I imagine is getting a lot of visits during this win streak. So here's a look at what we found as we looked at the campus store. I'm here on Utah State's campus. We're taking a little tour around, and we're here at the campus store. Now, I'm liking the signs here. It says Aggie Addicts, enter here, and everything Aggie, come on in. So that is what we're going to do. We're going to go check out what they got going on in this campus store. Okay, this guy right here is definitely rocking more of the head coach Matt Wells outfit. I've interviewed him a couple of times during the games, and this is kind of his look right here. You know, just maybe get a little practice in. Coach, how are you feeling about that win streak? Okay, I feel good about it. I think that's what this look is right here. Now, this is definitely going to come in handy for those cold home games. We got Utah State alum sweatshirt blanket. It feels like a sweatshirt on the inside. So why just wear a sweatshirt when you can literally wrap your whole body in this? You can tell this is definitely the cold weather section because, I mean, look at this. Fully prepared for all of your cold home game needs here. I kind of want to take this home with me. And, of course, the piece de resistance, a giant big blue mascot. And this thing's kind of heavy, too. He's got some size to him. All right, I'm thoroughly impressed with the campus store here at Utah State. This has been a blast. Truly a highlight of my career, holding a life-size Big Blue while I sit on a couch. Right now, we have a great Facebook poll going. We want all of you to chime in. The question is, will the Aggies win out? They are well on their way to their 7th straight win. So the question we want to hear from everybody is, do you think they can keep it going? The early results are in. It's looking like 85% of the people that have taken the poll are saying yes. I'm assuming that it's a lot of Utah State fans sticking around. So, Chris, what do you think? You think they can do it?
I think they can, but it's a tough row to hoe. 3 on the road, including a trip to Hawaii, a trip to Boise. Colorado State's never easy. Go to Fort Collins and play. I'm going to vote for no. I think somebody trips them up, either Hawaii, Colorado State, or Boise. AJ, what do you think?
I'm going to have to vote yes. Well, honestly, if they were just an offensive team, then yeah, that's when I could see them getting tripped up. But how we talked about they having success in all 3 phases and how well this defense has played so far this season, I think sometimes goes overlooked strictly because their offense is so explosive. So
I'm just a little bit concerned if they get in a tight game on the road. And I know they did in Wyoming, but Boise's better than Wyoming. I think Hawaii is better than Wyoming. What will happen if they are trailing late? If they're in a tight game late?
Well,
got a lot of work to do. Still 4 games to go.
If they are trailing late, this is a heck of an offense to play from when you're down. If somehow someone jumped out and got out to a 14-0 lead on this Utah State team, I don't think they ever feel like they're out of it. They can score so quickly. So even if they have a few miscues, turn the ball over a few times early in a game, I don't feel like they're ever out of a game just because of how fast they can score.
Well, like we mentioned a little bit ago, they scored 42 points in less than 15 minutes of game action in the first half. They went from 3-0 New Mexico to 42-3 New Mexico in 14 minutes. Pass complete and a first down. Devin Tompkins from Henry Columbi. I think Matt Wells is going to talk about those fumbles, those 4 fumbles that they've had.
You think? Yeah, I think those might be brought up.
Working the clock as they have been doing since early on in the second quarter. $10 on the play clock, 7:43 on the game clock. This Utah State team coming off 3 straight losing seasons. This will clinch a winning season for the first time since 2014.
Gain of 7, 2nd and 3.
Second down and 3. Here at Maverick Stadium, it's a really great facility. Of course, we've talked about the backdrop, and they set the record for the most total yards in program history at 685. They could have gotten a lot more than that if it was a closer game. They took their foot off the gas in the second quarter. Another first down. But this is the 3rd time you've been here, AJ. Kristen and I have been here even more than that. This is one heck of a place, one heck of a setting, huh?
I mean, the backdrop was just amazing. How the stadium is kind of built down into the mountain. It's a fun place to call a game. I would imagine it's a fun place to play a football game, home or away. And these Utah State guys, they seem to thrive here, and they love the environment here. It's a good time to be a Utah State football player or coach, I'll tell you that much.
About 90 minutes north of Salt Lake City. That's where you fly into. Drive up here is a cool, windy road through the mountains. Wouldn't want to be making it if there's snow on the ground, but it's fun this time of year. Morian Walker Jr. has been the running back on this drive.
I can see how you can recruit to this place.
Absolutely.
You bring a recruit to this game. I'm sure any recruit that's here today, especially if you're an offensive guy, you feel this perfect, brisk fall day, the beautiful backdrop of the mountains. Man, it'd be tough to say no to Matt Wells and what they have going on here at Utah State. Doesn't look like they're slowing down anytime soon, especially with Jordan Love having 2 more years of eligibility after this season.
Well, they have currently the 7th longest winning streak in the nation. They're going to add on to that. The school record is 9. This will be 7. They had 9 back in 1960.
I think that's why Matt Wells and this team, they're not shying away from all the attention they're getting with this win streak and being ranked possibly after this win, because they know how fast it can change, good to bad, bad to good. Like, it's really, really difficult to consistently have success in college football, really at any level of football. To consistently win is difficult. So when you do, and when you are in the middle of one of these special type seasons, you should take some time to look around and enjoy the process of what you're in.
They're the 10th FBS team this season to go over 700 yards of offense. And they're going to up their home average. They came in averaging 59 points per game at home this season. They scored 52 in the first half.
Now with these remaining games, though, Kristen, do style points matter for Utah State?
I think they do if you're going to have to deal with a ranking tiebreaker, which is absolutely possible considering that they don't play Fresno State or San Diego State. And chances are if they win out, they're going to play one of those 2 teams in the Mountain West Championship game. And it could come down to a tiebreaker on who's ranked higher in the college football playoff rankings as to who hosts the game. And those are the bowl eligible teams to this point. Boise State and Hawaii become eligible with wins today. That's quite the 3-headed monster up top, especially when you've got Boise, the perennial power in this conference, a rung below. Down to Kristen.
All right, I'm here with our incredible Utah State student correspondent, Paige Zamora. You have been with us and with Stadium, not just our crew, but with all of Stadium all season long. You got one more game. She's the best, you guys. I mean, really, take us through what you do for us and how you help us on a weekly basis when we're in town.
I love this part of football season. I love that you have been here for almost all of our home games. It's been so much fun. I get to be kind of the tour guide throughout the week when you get here on Friday, sometimes Thursday if I'm lucky. I get to show you all the things I love about Logan, all the things that make us kind of peculiar, and I really love that. And then I really just get to hang out on the sidelines with you and get footage. If you've been following on Instagram, you've been seeing different pictures I've gotten, getting to do the Instagram takeovers. So it's been a blast. I have so much fun every time you guys are here. So you might think I'm the best, but you guys are the real best.
That's very sweet. Now, one of the things that you did for us today is we've been talking about the costumes, not just from the Howl, but the ones that the students, the herd, always shows up with the costumes. So you got a couple of pictures for us. Is that right?
Yeah. You know, normally we see the same thing. We see always this, we see some of the things all the time, but this one that you're seeing right now, this McDonald's one, was new today. Turns out they have a podcast that they do at a McDonald's, and so this is kind of like their own branding, I guess. They'll be really excited to know that we're talking about it. And then we saw another one, the cow. I'm pretty sure this is a every game thing, but it's the first time I've seen it today. He was telling me he does it a lot. He stands next to a kid with an American flag costume. And then last time Facebook was here, they also saw this crew. There were a few more last time, but the unicorns and their friends all do this, and I think it's hilarious. But looks like they're getting a little tired.
Oh yeah, you can't take your unicorn hat off. I don't know if that's allowed. We want everyone on Facebook to vote what costume you think is the best. I got to go with McDonald's, Paige. What about you?
I think that one's my favorite too. I give them 100 points for originality for sure.
Love it. Want to hear from all of you at home as well.
Thank you, Kristen. Thank you, Paige. And that punt goes into the end zone and will come out to the 20-yard line. I was researching Utah State in the preseason after seeing them a few times last season, but of course, when you're getting ready for college football season, you got to go to the book of Phil Steele. And give him credit. He was all over this Utah State team. He said that this would be his #2 most improved team in the nation, behind only Florida. said that it should be the best offense in the Wells era, and it should be one of the best special teams units in the nation. Was he right or what?
Absolutely. I mean, Phil is he can see the future, and it worked out. With these guys, they are proving him right every single game.
AJ, you got your Heisman contenders to this point, and those are the 4 up top. Tua, undisputed at this point.
25 touchdowns to 0 interceptions. That right there is unbelievable. Completing 70% of his balls, and those aren't just underneath routes, dinking and dunking it down the field. He has a big arm, and he likes to show it. Dwayne Haskins obviously had a rough. His numbers still look good against Purdue, but they got blown out pretty much in the national TV game last week. They're on a bye. Kyler Murray continues to just amaze me in what he can do with the football in his hands. And Jonathan Taylor, I got to give love to him, just consistently, week in and week out, just pounding the rock. I think he doesn't get the attention he deserves. I know Wisconsin hasn't had the success that they thought they would coming into this season, but he is already over 1,000 yards.
How about this car from Stadium Scenes?
Now, do you drive that around every day of the week,
I
or
don't
does
know
it
that
just?
that's street legal.
You can't put the windows down. You have 27 flags fall out, so yeah, I don't know. Maybe you're driving the parade they have here, whenever that may be.
Tailgater of the year. That is an interesting little vehicle.
Well, I think they should invite us in. Let us find out.
Some meat there. Come and get it. Tailgating before the game in this great weather. Not sure it's going to be this nice in a few weeks when they have San Jose State.
I mean, if I was Utah State, I'd be tailgating after this game too. 2 o'clock kick out here. Still have some sunlight available. I'd be soaking this in for sure. I might stop on my way out.
And there's the quad and a great look. .354 to go. We've been counting down this clock since early on in the second quarter. Is this the longest game? And we had the longest World Series game, was 18 innings. I mean, this one's been over for a long time.
You know who it's longest for is this New Mexico team.
You're right.
It's so tough when I've been a part of been the wrong end of a blowout before a few times, and it is not fun. You try to do what you can and make plays, but geez, you want to get out of this game and get home as quick as you can.
Although Gerhardt wants to keep playing. Quarterback coming in and replacing Sharon Jones, and he's played well. That one complete for 23 yards. What do you think, AJ?
I mean, that's a perfectly thrown ball right there. So
do you go with Gerhardt next week against
I think
San
he might
Diego
have
State?
to. Yeah, I mean, he got hurt in the first game of the year, hurt his foot, and has been out for the majority of this year. Sharon Jones has had some success so far this season, but did not have much success early today, in large part due to some drops from his receivers. But Gerhardt has brought a spark to this offense. I think you might have to give him a shot next week.
Our Instagram of the day coming from SL Fick and a little baby football ready for Halloween and to cheer on the Aggies. That baby may have never seen Utah State lose a game. I don't know if he was born after the opener against Michigan State or not. Wow! What an interception! Are you kidding? Logan Lee, one-handed. You better check that dude's gloves for some pine tar or something.
Look at Logan Lee. He's in the passing lane. Ball thrown behind him, though. Look at right here. Just gets that big right paw in the air, and he almost caught the tip, which is what, if anyone saw the Thursday night game, DeAndre Hopkins just snagged the ball by the tip of which is the toughest way to ever catch a football, and secured it under his leg right there. Logan Lee, to get your hand on that is a great play. To actually pull that down, get an interception there, and get a little bit of a return. I mean, he shrugged his hands like, hey, I'm not really sure what happened, but look at him. I'd be hammering it up too. I'd be peacocking all over that sideline.
Well, That defense has played a heck of a game. They forced 5 turnovers. They got another touchdown. But the player of the game is someone who's barely even played in the second half. Jordan Love is our Facebook player of the game. Career high 448 passing yards, 5 total touchdowns.
And no interceptions, too. He took great care of the ball. Really was never in doubt. Never had any balls that looked like they were even had a chance to get intercepted. He can just do it all. He really can. I love watching him play. I love the command he has. It seems like his relationship with offensive coordinator David Yost, they seem like they're very tight. They're always on the same page. They seem to communicate very well in game, as well as building the game plan throughout the week. And they don't have one of those huge, thick playbooks that you see from other teams, and they take pride in that. They say we run a certain package of plays, and we try to be elite at that package of plays, and we tweak them here and there, and we tweak them week to week depending on the defense that we were facing. But we're gonna execute at the highest level of what we do, and we don't need to throw a bunch of volume at you. We're just gonna execute better than you.
And there's the offensive coordinator, David Yost, and that fantastic hair in all its glory. Hey, don't miss the best college football show on Facebook. It's College Football Weekly, Wednesdays at 7:30 Eastern, previewing the biggest matchups and even taking a look back at the top highlights of the week that was and the weekend that was. We'll also react to fans' questions and comments on College Football Weekly every Wednesday, 7:30, only on Facebook. Utah State fans with a heck of a lot to cheer for this season. A 7th straight victory, best start now since 1965, which predates this stadium. It looks new, it's not. Opened in 1968 as Romney Stadium. $36 million renovation just a couple of years ago. Injured New Mexico Lobo is Bijan Parker. And now if you're a Utah State fan and you're dreaming big, which I think they are, there's a lot of stuff out there. You're going to be ranked tomorrow, could be ranked in the college football playoff rankings. You could host the Mountain West Championship game. And also, the big cherry out there, you want UCF and USF to lose. One of those was taken care of today. USF got beat. And they've got an opportunity, if they can win out, and UCF loses, which may not happen. But if they do, they would have a chance to be the highest ranked Group of 5 team and go to a New Year's 6 bowl game. We're talking to Coach Wells this week and asking him about, being ranked and potentially hosting the Mountain West Championship game and potentially going to the New Year's 6. He said, don't you dare ask my players. Aggie's watching from Ohio. AJ very familiar with OH.
Fans everywhere. Tell you what, when you score points like this, you're going to have fans from all over the world watching you.
We do have fans from all over on Facebook. I think he was being serious when he said not to ask his players about the winning streak.
I think he definitely
was kind of laughing about it, but he says they have not talked about the winning streak at all. The only goal is to win each week and win the Mountain West. That's it.
Yep, keep it simple.
Guys, I back you up on that. I think he was serious about that.
That should do it, Kristen. A first down for Justin Hervey and maybe one more play. And that'll be all she wrote in the penultimate home game of the regular season for Utah State. Kristen will try to track down Matt Wells when this game ends. That'll do it. 61-19. They scored 52 points in the first half. 42 of them in less than 15 minutes of game time. And Matt Wells and Utah State off to the program's best start in over 50 years. Jordan Love, the career high, well over 400 passing yards in just over 2 quarters of action. And he feels a lot better coming off that 12 for 28, 53-yard and interception performance at Wyoming.
This offense definitely righted the ship. Came out on fire today and only really got one half of work. I know Kristen is down there searching for head coach Matt Wells. He's getting congratulated by a lot of different people from the New Mexico sideline right now, Kristen. I know that much.
And we've got Utah State one more time on Stadium. The last home game against San Jose State. They could put up a big number in that
Senior day, right, Chris?
Yes, it is.
What happens on senior day? They don't lose, right?
They don't lose, according to Matt Wells. That's not an option. Coach who was on the hot seat 2 years ago. And there are the two twin brothers, Tom Ivena, City and Sully.
Get that picture for Mom.
They've got the same exact, like, 7 o'clock shadow as well. Down to Kristen Balboni.
Coach, your team dominated from the first quarter and you didn't take your foot off the gas. We talk about this team doing so well in all 3 phases for so much of this season. Of all the things that they did here today, what made you the most proud?
I think we came out and started fast. That was the first thing. We played off each other. I kind of liked the drive at the end of the second quarter when we drove it down and had to go a 2-minute drill and kick a field goal. I know that sounds weird, but we hadn't had a chance to do that all year, and so it was a nice job by our guys doing that.
All right, we talked to you earlier this week. You said we don't talk about the win streak. We don't talk about the fact that we could be ranked in the AP Top 25, but I got to ask you about it. 7 straight wins, best start for this program since 1965. What is the ceiling for your team this season?
I'm not sure we got a ceiling. I don't know what it is. I haven't thought about that one bit. I don't mean to, I just know we got to go to Hawaii next week and find a way to win out there.
All right, Coach, congrats so much on that win. Guys, back to you.
Kudos, Kristen, for asking the question that you had to ask. He did say, I don't know that we have a ceiling. I'm not sure if he meant it like it came across. I think he was being modest. He just hadn't thought about it. We just win.
Yeah, he said, all I know is that we have to go to Hawaii next week and try to find a way to get a win. That's true. I mean, that's how coaches think, and that's how they probably should think. You can't get too far ahead of yourself. And every week you have your routine that you and your team and your coaching staff are in. And, hey, they're going to enjoy this for – I know Coach Wells gives them about a 24-hour rule to enjoy the victory, and then it's on to the next.
This is the 4th time this season that Utah State has scored 59 or more. They put it away early with a pick 6 and win it for their 7th straight. For my broadcast partner, A.J. Hawk, Kristen Balboni, and our entire Stadium on Facebook crew, I'm Chris Hassel saying good night from Logan, where Utah State is rolling and ready to be ranked.